Respectfully, shut up.
All right.
Anyway, welcome
Boys,
everybody.
girls, ladies
It's the
and
moment you've
gentlemen.
all been waiting for.
Welcome.
Since January this year, since December last year even. The moment of truth. Welcome, fellow viewers.
Double upload December.
Double upload
This is
December.
the second upload.
In March,
We did it.
February. We did it, ladies and gentlemen.
We
We're
did it.
here. We're
Welcome
here.
to the first annual, and probably the last annual, Big Talkies.
The Big
Presented-
Talkies.
Presented from my screen, the top left, by Bilal Jalil,
Epic. Hello.
Edward Dale,
Hi, I'm me.
Connor
In case
Murray,
you didn't know.
Hello.
Max Ruiz, me, and everyone, the reason people keep watching this podcast, Jace Vaughn.
Thank you.
I'm not
Oh, what
gonna
a
add-
thunderous reception.
I'm not gonna add any applause in this, just so you know.
What a brilliant introduction. Thank you very much, Max. Well, yes. Today,
What the
Maxwell.
it was like Max, and then my next sentence started with well.
Alright.
Anyway, continuing. As you said, the Big Talkies, probably the most prestigious award show in history, and you're here for it. Congratulations.
Some might
We'll
say
be having
history.
no one ever has said that, and that's just like an English thing, not
What the dog doing in the
Anyway.
background?
I mean, aren't all award shows made up?
Yes.
not this one. Not this one.
Not this one.
This one's real.
Any which way,
Every other one.
this one- It will be 12 categories, 4 of which we will do a deep dive
12
into.
categories?
12
Yeah.
categories.
Come on, we were briefed about this.
4
No,
of
we
which
weren't.
will be
Actually, we weren't
Hey.
briefed 3 months ago when we were going to do this initially.
what the dog doing.
But
Anyway.
not within the past month.
Shut up!
Please.
You get
Please.
muted.
Please. 12 categories, 4 of which we will do a deeper dive on, and there will be no official winner. That will be up to you guys to decide. If you want to take us on board, call us idiots, whatever you want to do,
No one's
that is
gonna say
okay.
anything.
I
Yeah,
will. I'll
it's-
agree.
it's-
I'll
it's-
agree with
it's-
me.
Engage
I'll
the
agree
comments,
with
you know.
me.
Shh.
But yes, it will be relating to stuff that is relevant to us, mainly pop culture, such as movies, games, and TV shows, stuff like that. And without further ado, I think we should go into the first category, of which is the best film up to date from. So I should preface, by the way, for
We
all
are
these
doing
categories.
last year's films, of course, and last year's
It is.
content.
It is. Everything from 2021 to this point is eligible. So anything from 2020 or earlier
Forgive
won't
me
be
while I
considered.
pour myself a glass of red. Again.
But yes, the first category is Best Film. Max, what is your nomination?
My nomination, well, as we know, I think 2021 in particular was a fairly huge year for movies, a lot of which pop culture sort of nerd-related films. And in the spirit of such, I decided to go with a film that I was very excited about and managed to, I think, blow me away when I saw it. Denis Villeneuve's Dune, starring Timothy Chalamet. It was my pick for Film of the Year.
Would you tell us a little bit about it? Maybe the general plot.
Ah, yes. So, essentially, it follows fairly closely the events of the novel Dune, written by Frank Herbert. Essentially, it is about the Atreides family who take over the planet of Arrakis, in which a valuable spacefaring resource called, pretty much referred to as the spice, is produced. Where
The spice.
yeah,
The
essentially it enables interstellar travel. It pretty much keeps everything going.
Space spice.
Keeps this spacefaring, interconnected warring empire alive and well. And the movie itself follows pretty much the early stages of the original Dune storyline, in which the House of Atreides um, sort of gets to the planet and finds out about the conspiracy to get them off the planet, basically, and just take over from them. I can't go into a lot more without spoiling, but essentially, Dune is a massively influential series, especially the book series, because it pretty much set the groundwork and the basis for just about every major sci-fi work that has come after it. So everything from Star Wars to Warhammer 40k, pretty much everything has taken some sort of inspiration
Wow.
from this series. And once you read Dune, you realize it's not just inspiration; all of it's just straight copying. And I think the film, even without that knowledge, I think that in itself, I think it stands on its own. I think I'll go into more of my specific thoughts as we sort of debate the debate it against the other films. But yeah, that's my pick, Dune.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, Dune, from my understanding, all-star cast. Really spent a lot of name
cast.
on the actors and actresses. Very talented people. Thank you. We'll talk about that more. Let's go to Bilal.
Epic. Movie I picked for mine because honestly I couldn't remember anything I watched last year. I don't know anything.
M2, huzzah!
Yeah, correct.
But,
It was disqualified. Let me just
Top
tell you.
3 movies from Bilal had involve a Space Jam 2. We watched 3 movies last year, one of which was Space Jam 2.
No, I did watch a decent.
Let him
bit.
talk, Jesus.
I watched a decent bit, but like nothing that's I don't know memorable or whatever. But from what I've got is Mitchell's versus the Machines that came out last year. That's on Netflix. Yeah, I just really like. I think the art style of it is really nice, like because it's the similar art style to Spider-Man into Spider-Verse.
That's made by
Yeah.
the same people who made. It's made by the same people, isn't it? So they
Yeah.
made the Lego
Spider-Verse,
movie and
yeah.
Spider-Verse,
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Same
that's
animation studio, at least.
yeah.
think
Because
it
it
is
looks
the same
very similar. It looks
people,
pretty good, and it is relative. I think it is pretty good. Though, like, I kind of do know the where the flaws or whatever in it of the type of movie it is, and like that like technology bad kind of movie. But I still found it quite fun. Like, it's pretty funny to watch as well. And,
It's
like,
your
it's a
boomer
good
uncle's
family
favorite
movie.
movie of 2021 as well because phone bad.
Truly a
Sorry.
progressive message.
Phone bad. Phone bad. Sorry,
Phone bad.
Bilal.
Nah, that's
This is
absolutely
the
fair.
of everyone's
This-
existence right here.
This is the problem. This is the machine.
This is the
I'm actually
machine.
gonna throw my phone. I can't afford to get a new one.
My name is Mitchell. This is the machine.
Rage against the machine.
Shut up. Alright, continue.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah,
Yeah, it was,
Good.
I don't know. I don't do
I think
movie reviews or anything.
it was a very accessible movie being released on Netflix, and I thought for what it was and how it was produced, it was
Yeah.
really nice. I would have it to guess it would maybe be the only movie all of us have seen.
I haven't seen
No,
it.
Haven't
no,
seen
well,
no.
never
I
mind.
started- I think
No.
I watched a little bit of it. I never got to. Actually,
I can
Yeah.
tell you.
It was very enjoyable.
Maybe we should.
Of
Maybe we
all
should.
the
Maybe,
movies
maybe.
that you've guys put down, the only one I've actually seen is mine.
Yeah, same.
Maybe we shouldn't. Just for the sake of transparency, maybe it's not a great idea to tell people in an award show that you haven't seen the film you're debating.
No, he's the one nominating it.
Maybe we
Yeah.
I'm nominating my
I'm the one
film that
nominating.
I've watched.
Maybe we
it's,
should-
it's on the person giving out the nomination to convince you of why it's such a great film.
Exactly.
I don't think it's the best one from the Bulldog. That's just my favorite. I
No,
think.
I
don't even
really
know if
enjoyed
it is, to be
I
honest.
really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed what I
let's-
saw of it, but I haven't finished this. Sorry,
No.
Eddie. We'll move on to you. What is
Yep.
your nomination? Tell us a little bit about
Well,
it.
my nomination for best film of 2021 is, of course, the grand finale to Daniel Craig's James Bond quintilogy. No Time to Die. I am a very big James Bond fan.
Fun
I
fact: when I went to go watch Dune, I got the dates mixed up and accidentally wandered into that cinema to be watching that James Bond film. And this was
No
like
Time to Die,
weeks
baby.
before Dune came out, so I'm sitting there thinking, hey, why is this made by this company? And why are these people
Did you
sitting in my
watch it?
seat? No, because that would have been illegal. I'm what we call a little bitch who plays by the rules. I could have. I realize now I could have done it. I could have just stayed in there and just watched this movie for free, completely on accident, albeit. But I didn't because.
But yeah, so I'm a big James Bond fan, so I was.
You're
I'd say-
dressed just like him. I can
Yes,
tell.
yeah. I was very excited for this film.
I think he's the third least dressed like James Bond, actually, if I'm gonna put it out there. Just,
I'm also the third most dressed.
Yeah.
Like
you are the third most dressed like James Bond, true. I think I don't know, Bilal has has his
he at least has like
beach
a
look.
kind
I'm
of
definitely wrong.
dress shirt sort of
Bilal,
thing.
are you wearing shorts by any chance?
Yeah.
So you've got like his beach look, you know. So
I'm,
when he was in
I'm wearing
Casino,
shorts right now, but like
his
I'm not gonna let
Casino
you see
Royale
that.
look. Connor
Oh,
looks
I'm-
like somebody
yeah.
James Bond would kill. I think,
Oh.
like really early on. Sorry, continue.
I just like the occasion.
So, all right, I'm gonna preface this by saying, I did like this movie, but I don't think it was as good as Casino Royale or Skyfall. But I do
What
think
is
it was
this?
better than Spectre and frickin'
Quantum of
the other
Solace.
one, Quantum of Solace. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
I think Daniel Craig's a fairly solid James Bond,
I
especially in
think
comparison
overall, yeah, his like set of
I've
films
seen-
isn't too bad.
I've seen them all. I think I liked Quantum
I
of
mean,
Solace.
Casino Royale and Skyfall are
Casino
two of the
Royale
best.
is great. It's fantastic even. Quantum of Solace I think is just good. I don't think it's awful, but I like
don't
it.
like it personally,
fair.
but
No, I understand why people wouldn't like it. Skyfall is really good, I think. Spectre I think is like I just found kind of boring, but it's not like
That's fair.
egregiously bad. And like I mentioned,
and then
I
I'd
did
say
stick
this one
around.
comes around in the middle of all of them.
Hmm.
Personally,
I think it's fair. It's a good way to end a
so for those of you wondering, oh, what if it isn't the end? It is the end because
Daniel Craig
spoilers, he
hates
dies
film.
in the end.
Oh shit! Really?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Fuck.
James Bond dies at the end of the film. They kill him off.
Shit.
Yeah.
that
Now-
makes so much sense with the marketing, actually. Damn.
No, well, that makes no sense.
But
Because
then
the-
how do you James Bond?
No, think about it.
called-
They could
James Bond.
reboot the franchise with a
It's-
different actor.
It's called
Sure.
No Time to Die, though.
Yeah,
so
he has time to die. That doesn't make
when
any
would
sense.
he have? When would he find the time?
He's literally
So,
saying.
would you
it
like
says
me
in the
to
title of
explain
the-
the reason why he had to die?
We'll
that they
get to it
gave
when
in
we
the
go.
film.
I think we'll get to it when we deep dive into the film. Connor, what was your nomination for
Hold on,
film of
I
the
go-
year of 20?
I go flip a coin because I can't decide between two.
Oh my god!
You
I was
didn't
allowed
do
to
this
add
ear-
one.
You didn't want to do this earlier.
No, I thought it'd be fun to do on the video. On the video. So I dropped the coin. Heads is the one on the left, tails is the one on the right. Tails. So Spider-Man No Way Home instead of Justice League Snyder Cut. You know, I can't remember which one I preferred better because I watched Snyder Cut at the very beginning of the year. Spider-Man last month. Or this month. Don't know when this comes out.
Recency bias, possibly,
I'll
but
get it out.
it's okay.
February.
But like,
Really? You realize there's 2 days left of February?
yeah,
That's
it's
tomorrow.
finished by tomorrow.
tomorrow.
No, there's excluding today, Jace. There's 2 more days. 27th.
Wait, is it a leap year?
No,
Yes.
is it?
No,
No, it's
no,
not.
it's not a leap
No.
year.
No.
I said it wasn't a
No.
leap year.
Yeah.
So yeah, 28 days.
Yeah.
So,
So you have 2 days.
I can
to get it
I
out in
always-
February.
I always get it out at the end of the month. Well, usually. I've got the last ones out at the end of the month.
Okay, yeah,
I've
specify
got,
the end,
I've
usually.
gotten the last few out at the end of the month. They've all.
We'll see. We'll see.
If not, it's because I work a day job, guys.
Anyway,
Okay, chill.
Spooderman
Spider-Man.
was saying.
Spider-Man Home. I kind of just enjoyed it when I watched it.
Spooderman homeless.
Knowing like very little going in
This is
outside.
this is kind of a small indie film, Connor. Would you mind telling the audience a little bit
No,
about it
'cause
for those who
they'll
aren't sure?
know. This channel's called Comic Book Kid. They'll know. They're watching this. They'll know. I knew like barely little going in, and it's been out since the end of December, so I can kind of spoil it.
So please move the mic back. I'm begging you.
It's not that close to me.
It's so loud.
Just move it back a bit.
There you go.
Maybe not that far back. That actually better.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, because I'll have to fucking shout now.
Lol.
You can move it a bit closer, but just don't.
have to talk. I can just whisper with this.
Yeah, that's
What am I
fine.
doing?
there's
Okay, I forgot what I was talking about.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I had a point I was going to say, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, I think it was about the other Spider-Man. So yeah, spoiler, the other Spider-Man show up. And I didn't really know that going into it. I haven't watched like any Spider-Man films outside of the MCU ones. I think I watched like 2 others.
Dude, you're missing out.
I
Well,
don't care. I'll be honest. I don't have the time to go back and watch.
I like
When I have to watch
the first set.
newer TV shows for the podcast, I don't have time.
I enjoyed the one time I watched Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3.
With
So-
Joe.
Yeah, I liked it, and it's a lot of people like it, so I decided yes for that.
Yep.
So yeah.
It was probably the biggest movie as an event. Like it was.
21, sorry.
There's not too much that had the like Marvel themselves had a pretty quiet year. It's pretty hard to back up after like Endgame and Infinity War. Like it's a pretty hard thing to follow, and they're kind of setting up their next thing. But their one ace in the hole was Spider-Man: No Way Home, and honestly, it didn't really miss the mark. It was a pretty good film.
It pretty much gave the fans, I think, exactly what they wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it was super high budget, and it was very good.
I mean, I went to buy Venom personally, but it's fine.
Venom was good.
We'll get to that.
The one.
Jace, the man of the hour.
Yeah.
Tell us what your pick for film of the year is.
I watched probably more films than I've ever watched this year, just because I was out of school for most of the year. I had a lot of free time, and I felt like this was a good way to do it. And probably the most. Well, I was very captivated by this film. It's called Pig. It stars Nicolas Cage, and it is super like un-Nick Cage. if you know Nick Cage from like some of his like famous stuff like Con Air or what's the one where he steals the Declaration? National Treasure. He's kind of almost got a comedic
What do you mean
edge.
the movie? He just did that. Don't you know?
And I always thought Nick Cage is of more of like this meme-worthy guy. Like he's just kind of funny. He's Nick Cage, you know. But this film, he was absolutely phenomenal. Nick Cage, he plays a truffle farmer, and the movie is about him regaining his pig after it's stolen. And the way that he's portrayed and acts in such a foreign environment, like a city, which is just so common for anybody else, is incredible. It's by far my favorite thing I've seen with him. It wasn't a huge budget, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super nice.
I think Nick Cage kind of thrives in those sort of small budget films though, because he's such a eccentric I don't want to say character actor because I'm not sure if that's the right term, but he's such an eccentric personality and such like a broad character in real life, and those kind of like obscure sort of out there strange characters, they get to shine a lot more in those small budget films. Like he was in The Color Out of Space a few years ago, which is, you know, based off the H.P. Lovecraft story, and he's phenomenal in that as well. He plays the father character, and of course it's a little bit of him getting to play like his sort of crazy Nick Cage self, but you know you still see he's being true to and playing this sort of like this character that you could only ever sort of take seriously in a small budget film like this, or you know only really could even get, I suppose, in a small budget film like that. And I think, like I mentioned, Nick Cage really does thrive in those sorts of environments where someone allows him to, I guess, go full Nick Cage, but in a way where, it's true to the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think, and he's been doing a lot more sort of indie films. He's doing sort of what Andrew Garfield did for a little bit, where he just sort of went into a bunch of smaller roles after like one massive role. And yeah, I haven't seen Pig yet, but it really does intrigue me. I think the premise, like you mentioned, sounds really interesting. I think, like I mentioned again, Nick Cage thrives in those kinds of roles.
No, it's a great film. It's a great film. For time's sake, we have a lot of categories to get through. We've given a lot of good recommendations. As I said in the intro, these sort of long ones we discuss, we won't have an actual winner on. That's more for you guys to decide. Take on our recommendations on board if you must. If you guys have any final thoughts on your films, now would be the time to share them.
I guess I'll start. So I think, while I personally loved Dune, I think enjoying it and watching it comes with a fairly heavy caveat in that you have to go in knowing that it's the start of a series, I suppose. So Dune is a massive series already. It's a massive brand, and it's made by Warner Brothers. It was their pretty much swing of the year, like their home run attempt. Aside from maybe Zack Snyder's Justice League, but even then, I think not really. So they went, with the massive cast. They end the film saying that it's Dune Part 1, because they knew already that it was going to be like a series, similarly to how they did the Lord of the Rings series, where they just already started with only doing a Part 1 because like we know we're going to make more, essentially. So I think as a film, I still think that it does stand on its own. You don't need to read the book or be super immersed in the lore. I think visually, Denis Villeneuve is an incredibly, just an amazing visual director. His color schemes, his cinematography, it's amazing. So and especially the music as well. So on a visual and audio level, it's definitely, I don't think anything matches anything on the level of Dune that came out in 2021. But the main issue I think a lot of people had and are going to have watching it is grappling with the fact that it's the start of a series. It's the start of it's part of a whole story.
Kind of a big thing to chew at first, because there's so much to come, and there's so much
and
you could go.
Like, you won't get the full story of Dune watching the movie, but I think if you can go in, accept that this is sort of like the first arc of a major story, I think if you go into it as more of that kind of an experience, and even on just a technical level, I think you get a lot more enjoyment out of it. But you just sort of you have to go in open-minded, I suppose, is what I would say. But even with that, I still stand true that it was my favorite film that I saw last year, and I think probably just the best. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Boys, anything else to add?
On No Time to Die for me, I suppose. I suppose the movie itself was pretty mixed within the overall James Bond community. So I'll start with the whole villain plot sort of thing. The villain plot is it's pretty just simple, basic James Bond villain sort of stuff.
Not really groundbreaking.
Yeah. So it's effectively guy. So in the previous movie, Spectre, they set up Spectre, the big organization, as the big bad of the series. Well, in this one, they just killed them. They have the new bad guy just kill off all of Spectre, the entire organization.
A little bit.
And you're wondering, how does he just do that? He builds nanobots that infect people's bloodstreams and they just they react to specific people and kill them. So he programmed the nanobots to specifically kill off all of the Spectre agents, because he stole a database of all the Spectre agents, then programmed it into these bots, and then just spat out all the bots all over these guys, and Spectre's just gonzo.
How does he die?
How does he?
How does
Okay.
Jimmy die?
Well, so this guy, now that he has all these nanobots, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna, let this whole, sort of pandemic of nanobots spread and just go off and kill a bunch of people. And his reasoning is because he can? There's no real specific motive that he gives, but he states several times during his conversations with James, he states several times that he and James are not too different. They're quite alike, which is a big movie trope, and also kind of weird. I mean, so sure, funny. James kills people, but he doesn't release a pandemic of nanobots.
What's that meme of like
You're not so different, you and I?
No, like the Giga Chad, but and it's playing that Bring Me the Horizon song, where it's some guy like doing a bunch of like random talking, like and it's like all time lapse, and this is the one
Fan versus Enjoyer.
Yeah, so the like average genocide fan. I'm doing it to bring world peace. Why are you spreading this pandemic? Because I can. Can you feel my heart?
So effectively, they come up with the great plan to stop this from spreading any further. Where he has his big secret island base where he's gonna spread it all from, and they're just gonna call. Yeah, so the James Bond basically infiltrates that base, and then basically just sends out the coordinates to the army. The army rocks up, and they're just gonna nuke it. But in the final battle between James Bond and the villain guy, who is played by Rami Malek, I should say, the villain.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Rami Malek is a really good actor. I think he does phenomenally as the actor. Like he plays the villain really well, in my opinion. But it's just the villain is so kind of bland and forgettable that with his whole I'm just killing people because I can sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think his performance as the villain is fantastic.
A lot with nothing, honestly. I think that's a testament to his acting skill.
He effectively, what he does is, in the final battle, he manages to inject James with a nanovirus, the virus thing. But it's not designed to kill James. It's designed to kill James's wife, who he met in the previous movie.
Oh yeah, the one he had no chemistry with.
Yeah, they do have better chemistry in this movie, I will say. The relationship between them is a lot better in this film, which is good because they also now have a daughter. And because the daughter has genes from the wife, the virus will also kill the daughter. So now James can't go home to his wife and kid, because if he does, they will die. So instead, James just stays on the island as it gets nuked.
Damn.
Wow.
Daniel Craig really saw that. No, here's what I think happened. He probably saw that in the script, and the original script is like, so he never goes home to his family, and they never factor into the sequels again. And he saw that as his way out of playing James Bond. I'm like, finally.
I mean, yeah, he specifically said he wanted it out, so they're like, sure, let's kill him off so we can do a full reboot.
He said something along the lines of like, I keep trying to get out. I keep trying, but they keep finding a new fucking reason to pull me back in. So funny.
Yeah, there's also a bit where, like, the reason he can't just, leave the island is as long as the bad guy's still there is because he has to keep he's holding all of the virus in like these missile silos, and they need to have the nukes land in the missile silos. But so James opens up the missile silos and then goes to leave, but then the bad guy just goes behind him and closes the missile silos again. So now James has to go back, and that's the reason that the final boss fight
It sounds
against them happens.
It really sounds like two teenagers going, shut it. So you kid, idiot.
So they do manage to stop this big virus thing. Congratulations, but now James is dead. Shut up.
Anyway, thank you for that beautiful rendition.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Anyone else want to talk?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
If I could just add one more.
If you don't have anything else to add, then
just let me add one more thing about Dune.
Yep.
Zendaya is featured heavily in the marketing. She's in the film for like 20 minutes, so don't go into the film expecting a Zendaya movie. Yeah.
Dude, she was filming Spider-Man at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
She plays a major character, and she's Zendaya, so that's why she was featured so heavily. But her role is tiny, like fucking tiny.
But like,
that's
still
fine.
20 minutes? That's.
It's not. I don't think it's exactly 20 minutes, but it's barely. Actually, no, I think it is. It's fucking tiny. She's in a couple of flashbacks, and then she comes in for like the end of the third act. Not even the whole third act. Like the
Probably
last
setting
few
up
scenes of the movie.
Probably setting up for a future film.
Yeah. No, she is a major character in the movie and in the entire story. But in this part of the story, she's not, except for like foreshadowing. Like it'd be like if they showed it's kind of like Gollum in the first Lord of the Rings. Like he's there in like the shadows and you hear him now and again. But it'd be like if they advertised Andy Serkis as like top billing when he's in like shown from behind, right? Anyway, but that's all I want to say. I reckon after that we can now move on to our.
Okay, can I announce the nominees for this one?
Please, by all means,
Right.
nominating Best TV Series, Edward Dale.
The nominees for Best TV Series of 2021 x the first 2 months of 2022.
Rolls off the tongue.
The nominees are The Boys, Arcane, Invincible, Squid Games, Gregory.
Squid Games.
Squid Games.
Uncle Ben, what happened? Squid Games.
Loki. And the only actual show that's from 2022, Connor's favorite show since the beginning of 2021, although it released in 2022 and Jay said it was okay, Peacemaker.
Wonderful.
You've seen Peacemaker.
Yeah.
I've heard it's really good, actually. I'm so glad it's good.
Alright, so, are we talking about all of these or just the one that wins?
Go with them briefly.
If there's something you want to talk about, the honourable mentions, you can, but...
Alright, so which of the honourable mentions do you want to start with?
The Boys.
Okay, let's start with Boys. Unfortunately, Boys did not win.
No.
Alright.
Unfortunately not, yeah.
It was good. I really liked it, Season 2. The final season, I don't think they're making a Season 3.
Are they not? Really?
Aren't they?
Not that I've heard of. I haven't been particularly looking into it.
How big the franchise has gotten now, they might surely have to make something.
I feel like it was super hype. It's live action. It was my personal favourite.
As someone who's read the comic, I am so glad that the show is as good as it is, because the comic is just a whole bunch of edgelord crap, and they somehow managed to take that and create characters you can actually give a shit about, and that is just a testament to the entire writers. A massive downside is that it's made by Amazon and Amazon cringe. No, I'm just kidding. But also,
it wasn't good enough.
Unfortunately, can I take a turn to eliminate one now?
They're doing
Eliminate
season
one
three as well, by the way.
Are they doing season 3?
They are.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay then.
All right.
Anyway,
you're on.
Yes.
I will take my time to eliminate one. Squid Game.
No one's
Not gonna.
sorry.
No. Okay.
What if
Who here actually watched Squid Game?
No,
I think
I
you
didn't
were-
watch it.
You watched
I
Squid Game?
watched it.
Yes.
That's all right.
Well, I watched, the synopsis of the plot on YouTube, and I don't think I need to watch it after that.
I watched Squid Game ! Uncle Ben death compilation on YouTube. I feel like
Really?
I was
Forget the
tempted to
point.
watch it, but I couldn't be bothered.
Sorry, you were
I
saying,
mean,
Jace?
I don't want to watch. I don't want to read subtitles.
How's
That
it feel,
too,
Jace?
and also I don't
How's
want
it
to watch the
feel?
English dub because it looks terrible.
How's it
I
fucking
can,
feel, buddy?
I can wait my turn. I wasn't talked over. I just
No,
didn't
go
talk.
ahead.
I think it was a nomination here because of its popularity. It's the
Mostly,
largest
yeah.
Netflix show ever by a considerable margin. I think the next closest is Stranger Things, and it beat it out by like 4x or something. It's insanely popular. Watching it,
It's
I
not as
found a
popular
lot
as
of.
Red Notice, though. Which is
Oh,
everybody
oh
has seen
boy.
Red Notice
I've
600,000
seen
times
Red
already.
Notice.
I literally.
By the way, Red Notice. I don't think it's very good.
No,
I
I
watched
keep
it, it
being
wasn't
told
very
like everybody in the fucking world has seen Red Notice 6 times, and I haven't met it. You're the only person I know who's actually seen Red Notice.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
You guys
I've
haven't
never.
watched Red Notice?
No, I haven't.
I've
met
seen
any-
it.
I don't know
You've seen
what
it?
you're talking about.
Then
Do
the
you know The
Netflix
Rock?
movie featuring Dwayne the Rock Johnson, frickin'
Ryan Reynolds and
Gal
Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
yeah.
Anyway,
That's
sorry,
right.
you were saying.
I
Jace,
don't know what.
you were
Oh
saying,
damn! Wait, you haven't
I-
even heard of it?
No.
He's
Damn,
of course he
okay.
hasn't heard of it.
Oh,
If
that's
you
true.
showed-
Yeah.
I found Squid Game really forgettable. Once I finished it, I was like, oh yeah, that happened. I found the acting okay. The most interesting part was the story premise. I thought it was an interesting premise, but
What is going on your end?
Oh,
I pressed the wrong button.
oh, you okay, Connor?
Technical difficulties,
Yeah.
fellas.
It's 'cause
I feel like
in
Squid
order to
Game
record, I have to do
Had
different-
to get a nomination based on its popularity. It was super big.
I think
Now
the thing
let
with
us
Squid Game,
talk
I think
about how it's bad,
I think the thing with Squid Game is,
or well, how it's
it
not as
has
good as the
a-
others.
I think it has a. I'm glad it exists. I suppose. I think it's a fairly decent. Like the idea itself is like a decent criticism of the kind of world we live in today. Not to get into a like political rant, I suppose, but like I think the idea itself is solid, and those kind of like battle royale movies though, like I don't want to say it's super similar to Hunger Games because it has like a similar concept, I suppose, but it's just
I
that
mean,
kind of
to
genre.
be fair, Hunger Games stole from Battle Royale.
Yeah, it did so much. But I guess it's just that kind of thing where it's like your ideas in a show can be fantastic, but they can only be as good as the show itself, and like they'll only be received at the same quality as the show is received. I guess. Is what
That
I'm
being
trying to
said,
say.
the show was received really well
The show was received
to the
really well.
point where I don't think it should have been as big as it was, though.
I just
because
think, I don't know.
I
why
don't
was
think
so
it
big,
was
actually.
deserving of as much praise as it got.
I
Yeah,
agree with that completely.
I would love to. This is actually something I've been interested in doing a video on. I want to like do some kind of deep dive into why it got so big, because maybe it's something to do with like the sort of hype around Korean cinema after Parasite. Yeah, thank you. After Parasite won Best Picture, which definitely deserved. It's a fantastic film. But
Truthfully, I think it was just a.
Lol, nobody cares
Interesting
about
release.
Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous.
Shut up. That's why it's not on here, Ed. That's why I didn't say it in here.
sorry, you were saying this.
I just think it was a lot of factors like COVID, everyone staying at home, a lot more free time to watch it, and it was pretty digestible. I didn't.
I
find
mean,
it too
that's
complex.
true. Everyone's just, oh, I've got nothing to watch on Netflix. Ooh, what's this Squid Game? Oh, they watch it and then they're like, yo, have you checked out this funny show called Squid Game?
Alright,
And then it got really popular, and now they advertised it, became a meme. Everybody
Honestly,
watched it.
And then it died.
And then it died.
for the past couple of months, I did think it was called Squid Games for a little bit because I forgot that it's just.
Games, Gregory.
I forgot that it's not. It's singular, not plural. Here, let's continue.
Eddie, would you like to announce the winner?
What about the others? Are we not going to talk about the other shows?
Connor,
The
do you wanna
others
talk about-
sucked. The others sucked.
Invincible was amazing. That's all I'm saying.
Alright.
I think it's the
They
best.
were all good. They got nominations. They were all
If
good.
we keep
Invincible-
talking about
I just wanna-
everything, we're
I'll just
going to
say-
go for like way too long.
I'll
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
say
fair enough.
briefly
And
about
Loki
Invincible.
and Peacemaker weren't good enough. Anyway,
I'll just
yeah,
say brief-
you
if I can just-
you definitely saw this coming. The winner of the best TV series of 2021. A surprise to no one. It's Arcane, League of
Show we've all
Legends.
watched.
Arcane League of Legends, the only show all of us have watched because we all
Yeah.
had to talk about it on the podcast.
If you want
Um,
a super deep dive, go
Alright.
watch
Go watch
Big
that,
Talk. Link
Yeah,
in
but
the
I'm just gonna
description.
say best TV show I've watched in a long time. I would
Super good.
say it's
I
like
would-
really well made, from animation to story and world building.
Yep.
Music and
It's one
sound
of the
design is
It's
fantastic.
technically- on a technical level, it's one of the best films of the past decade.
Not
Oh,
films,
films,
but
TV
yeah,
shows,
sure.
sorry, my bad. One of the best television shows of the past decade, and I don't think anyone can deny
Yeah.
technical quality. We've all talked
It's
about our
very
thoughts
much
on that.
deserving of this
Um,
award.
We've all talked about our thoughts in it in full in a few 2 podcasts ago. Go watch that one if you want to deep dive. And after that, we shall move on. And
Alright.
Bilal,
Jason,
would you
announce
like?
this one.
But yeah, I think Bilal.
Bilal, being the
This is-
resident expert, Bilal Jalil, will you please announce the winner of best YouTuber?
Are we
You-
not
the
talking
nominees
not
first.
now nominees first?
You want the nominees
Yeah,
then?
the nominees and
Yes.
the award.
All right. Yeah. So for our nominees for best YouTuber, is it just best YouTuber of this year or in general? Did we mark it as?
Just this year.
Current
Yes,
YouTuber,
yeah.
I suppose.
All right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
our options we had Back Pocket, Mr. Sunday Movies, Video Game Donkey, Jay Schlatt, Sidemen, Scott the Was, and Dream.
Alright.
Before we announce the winner, I want to make a personal shout out to one of the runner-ups, Mr. Sunday Movies. You guys were, like I mentioned in the live action one, were pretty much the basis for me, like starting this podcast and the kind of humor that a lot of the content that I make. So unfortunately, you guys didn't win, but I just want to say that you'll never see this. I just want to point, you'll never see this. But thank you, for the work you do, the content you make, for being awesome blokes. And now,
He's
winner
baiting a
is-
clip. He's baiting a
hold
clip.
on.
He's baiting a clip. He's gonna send it to them.
I'm
now-
gonna hold on. I got a honorable mention section. Hold on. I want to give a shout out. Back Pocket still would be my personal. Not that I don't disagree with the winner,
Hmm.
but I would personally put Back Pocket just because I think personally
Keeps the
their
dream alive.
content.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Uh,
something for me as well. It's like for winners, not not my personal favorite, but like for me in the list here is Dream as like my favorite from this year.
He's had a
And
big
especially
year.
like pretty much like this year and last year as well.
He cheated. He's cancelled on Twitter now.
Did-
Okay, well,
did-
You just
Shut
got
up,
lucky,
Ed.
Eddie. You just got lucky.
Yeah,
What
wait.
do you mean?
He didn't cheat, Ed. Okay. All right. First
no,
off,
no, he
you're
came out
dumb.
and said he
No,
did cheat.
no,
Yes.
Oh, he
he
did!
I'm
He was
sorry, the
forced-
block
he
game
was
is so
forced to.
important to you.
Alright, fellas,
He was forced
It
to
was
write
the
that statement.
the CIA forced him to cover
Yeah.
it.
Also, Scott the Was, another of my favorite YouTubers.
Anyway, without
recently.
further ado, unless Bilal has anything else to say,
No, I'll just
Well,
go with the
without
winner
further ado,
now.
the winner is
So the winner is Video Game Donkey.
Woo!
Love you,
Donkey
Donkey.
December, Donkey Kong December.
Um,
Nice.
Man, better than
Constantly-
double upload December.
True. Donkey
happened.
saved December,
'Cause it
and never
happened.
forget that. Never forget that Donkey saved December.
It actually lasted like a couple days. It didn't even last the whole month.
It was so funny. Like,
But it was a good
third video-
week. It was a good week.
Good week.
Like, what, his third video, I'm like, oh, where's Donkey Kong? Oh, he stopped doing this. Okay.
Donkey Kong
He
December.
realized the bit. He realized the bit was over. I think that's respectable.
No, I think the bit was that he hyped it up as everything Donkey Kong, and then he made several videos which were progressively less and less about Donkey Kong, and then he just ran out of Donkey Kong bits to shove into the video.
The one video he uploaded that was like, sorry guys, no video today, and then went on a big fucking rant that ended with like Donkey Kong on a boat.
Oh my
That was
god,
a
I love
funny
that.
ass video.
I watched that like a podcast. Just listen to it.
Black screen, you couldn't do anything else.
Bro.
It was,
so
but
funny.
I think Donkey, he is so innovative, and he's genuinely like like humor comes down to a lot of things. But when I just think of someone that truly can make me laugh with any video, Donkey just hits the spot, man. He's effortlessly funny. It's from the way that he talks, his afflictions. It's just he's so fantastic. I can't share my love for Donkey enough, and I think
Donkey hits.
he's very deserving.
I think he hits sort of like both sides of the kind of content that I would watch. Like, because while he makes a lot of like really interesting, really funny content, he can also turn around and do like a really in-depth game review in like 5 minutes. That I've watched his like Last of Us 2 videos like 7 times each, just because I love how in depth he goes into those videos. I don't know why. I haven't even played like all of the Last of Us 2, but I just love that video so much. But
He's
also
reputable. He's reputable. He knows his shit.
I love how he like after so long can like you said can still make me laugh so much. I think he made a video on Bethesda or something recently, where at one point he just went on a rant about Skyrim, saying like Skyrim. They've released Skyrim 7 times and it's still not finished. And I don't know why. It's not even super funny. But when I first saw it, it just had me crying laughing because of how fucking accurate it is. How fucking accurate it is, god damn it. But no, I think Donkey, like I just mentioned, he hits both of those avenues that I go on YouTube to watch pretty much. And that's why, yeah, he won. Deserved.
Congratulations, Dunkmeister, and all the nominees. Well done.
Congratulations.
Anemones.
And for the next category, I think it's only fitting, being he hosts the podcast. Max, could you please introduce and then call upon everybody for their nomination for the best Big Talk moment?
Indeed. Today here we have the best Big Talk moment. A little bit vague in description. Essentially, this is our favorite single moment from either and of course Connor turns his mic on now with the static.
I think his noise gate's being a little stuffy.
Yeah, that's alright. So, like I mentioned, it's our favorite moments from either the podcast itself or any sort of related content. And when I say related content, I mean that in the loosest possible sense, and I'm pretty much allowing anything that has all of us together in one thing. So if we've all played Jackbox together, if we've all played a game together, any sort of video we've all filmed together, that can feasibly be listed under the podcast pals or Big Talk moment, can be nominated
Big Talk
here.
Crew.
And to start, Big Talk Crew. So to start things off, I will begin with my classic video. We found my old channel
That no one has watched.
that nobody has watched, unfortunately, which sucks because it's one of my favorite videos.
How many views does it actually have?
It's
Let me
got
check real quick. You keep going. I'll
14 or
check.
20 something, one of the two. I call my favorite moment. Oh, that's Master Chief. For all of these, I'll try and just get a clip so I don't have to explain it. So if you just mention like what
It
the
has
clip was.
16 views.
Fuck, dude. God damn it. Anyway, but yeah, so like I mentioned, I'll just like get a like clip of the actual clip you're referring to, just pop it in here after I introduce it. But anyway, so my favorite clip is me and Eddie watching my old channel and watching a old Teen Titans Lego animation, and seeing Master Chief little mini figure.
I remember
walk
this.
goes,
I go, who's that? And
Oh,
you
that's
go,
that's Master Chief.
We can probably play the clip here.
Yeah,
for
we're gonna
people.
play the clip.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my favorite moment. Eddie, what's yours?
my favorite moment, or my nominee for my favorite moment, is of course Malcolm Turnbull Palpatine. Now,
Sick fucking.
to this day, my Discord profile picture is still Malcolm Turnbull. But it's more in like the ironic sense.
Mm.
An homage, even.
Yes. Even though he's not dead.
Yes.
I mean, he very well may be. We do not know.
August 20th.
So this comes from an earlier episode of the podcast, very earlier of
Episode 2, I think it was.
I think it was episode. It was episode 1 or 2. Yeah.
It was 2 because
No, yeah, it was 2. It was 2. I think.
Afterwards, we had calamari plays on.
Yeah. So Max sees my profile picture, even though I've already had at that point I'd already had it for a while. He sees the profile picture and goes, "Wait, is your profile picture Malcolm Turnbull?" And I'm like, "Yes! How did you not notice that it was Malcolm Turnbull this entire time?"
I thought it was Palpatine, man.
And he comments that he thought it looked like Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine himself. Unlimited power!
And I hope you know I'm replacing this whole thing with just the clip, right?
I mean, yeah, but you could also add this in anyway.
Yeah,
I might
maybe
leave
it
this in.
overlap or something. Buddy.
Unlimited power!
It's what you can get when you hit that subscribe button. Speaking of,
Don't forget to like and leave a comment on who you think the best Big Talk moment is.
After we tell what the nominees are.
You're right, yes, we have not
Um,
finished.
Alright, Connor, up to you. What's your favorite Big Talk moment? Tell us a little bit about it.
My favorite one is one of the only videos I've watched fully and that any one of us has released. Ever. I'll be honest. That is Jace's I Have News video, which was him kind of saying he was doing a podcast and kind of being comedic about all of us.
Completely roasting us
Yeah, I
in
found it funny.
detail. Going point by point, describing just
I believe
memeing on all of us.
he brought up Ed
Hey.
is rich like twice, which is
Yeah.
very funny.
Which
Wealthy
everyone-
and rich.
Yeah.
Wealthy and rich.
It was
Ed's
like,
defining
I can't
personality
remember.
traits. Fuck, I can't even remember what you said about me. I have to watch that again.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was like
Something
Scott or
about
something
being
else.
inclusive or something.
Alright, no,
Grab
because
it
I'm
up.
like,
I could grab it up quick.
You can play a few clips if you want.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, it's
it's not. You're not going to get
Ow,
copyright striked from a video we made. I might.
If you take my ad revenue, I might.
Okay, hold on, I got your. So, just the dot points is figurehead, artist, and group diversity. But he definitely said some other stuff around it.
Yeah.
Yep.
about diversity, the very important.
Wealthy, no notable
issue.
attributes, wealthy. I was Scottish.
Sorry, Ed.
Beard.
Where does
no
he get
cricket.
Scottish?
Oh, and wolves transfers.
Oh, true.
And I forgot Philosophic.
That's the only thing I remember in vivid
I
detail.
still- I remember putting Ed for Vin Diesel as some reason, and I don't remember why.
Of the family meme.
Oh yeah, this was
Oh,
the family, remember?
Yeah.
I was Family Guy.
And I edited it. Yeah.
No, like James called Blow with Nintendo slut.
I'm gonna.
I remember that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's probably
What
probably.
When
Am
you
I
go through the
wrong,
video
though?
max
Am I
to
wrong?
upload stuff, the Papa Blow is uploading strike, diversely, Nintendo slut, and ruthless.
Okay, yeah, true.
It's
Oh
ruthless.
yeah, I'm gonna put a memorial to Harry here. I'm
I have-
lucky.
We'll get
I
to,
have-
we'll get to the
Right.
Lashing Spark Memorial Award.
We will. That's coming.
Alright. Jace, we're up to you.
Yeah.
What's your nomination?
Maybe a bit biased,
Self-aggrandizing.
yeah, just it might be a bit biased, but my favourite part of the year for Big Talk was actually myself joining the podcast. If we can't, obviously, if we I don't want to get too sentimental, but I feel like maybe not so much Connor, as we were already very good friends, but Max said below, I feel like our friendship has blossomed really nicely. I know you all now as people, and you're.
I don't feel
I'm
like
very
it
glad for
blossomed too much due to the podcast, though.
I
It was
feel
more
like
just
You should
like an added benefit of us starting to hang out with you.
Yeah.
The podcast kind of opened up the gateway, I think.
that's what I'm saying. Joining the podcast was like my way in to hang out with you guys more.
An
And
excuse to
I really
actually
enjoy
make
it.
the podcast.
I really enjoy it. Well, yeah, and I mean, I enjoyed it. It was my favorite part. I feel like we've made some good content. We've had some good laughs, and we'll do many more.
Yeah.
So,
And on that note, I do want to say, I am very, very glad that you actually did join the podcast. I remember when we first talked about it, it was
found
like
it.
it was kind of
Found
a meme because I was okay.
Found
3,
it.
2, 1, go. There.
Oh,
Ed,
God.
you were
weren't
not part of that, man. You weren't part of that.
Can I? Alright, sorry. As I
You
was
do sound like
saying,
this, I just put the fist in the middle, just like,
so
no.
I think the podcast was sort of at a point where none of us were really sure what we really wanted to do going forward, I suppose. And I think there were two things. One, I wasn't really sure how serious you were about joining. So when you did join and you were actually
Our solution was
properly-
eliminate one of the members and get a replacement.
So, but genuinely, when you joined and you were genuinely excited, you were like bouncing off of us comedically. It really made my day personally because I thought, hey, we have an actual fan, and he was like genuinely excited to talk with us, to hang out with us, to put in his thoughts
He's
about
more
things.
than a fan.
And
He's
think-
family.
family.
I said
But I think
family.
he-
Chat.
I think
Fan on a family. Yeah, that's
Yeah. See, I think the big thing is you're joining the podcast. Gave us the sort of permission, in a sense, to be able to loosen up and just do more and like be less focused, but also just be more like conversational in the podcast. See, since you've joined, there's never been a quiet moment that hasn't been intentional, pretty much, is what I mean. And I personally am very glad you joined.
Thanks, Max.
Now
buddy.
moving on from that bullshit, Bilal, you've just now added your fucking point.
But I
just
don't
noticed.
remember anything we've ever done. I don't remember anything.
Watch
I have
the
big
podcast!
memory of a goldfish.
I don't remember
anything.
anything we've ever done.
Just watch one
Literally
episode.
have a goldfish memory. God, I'm
Jeez,
awful.
Bilal, just
Bilal.
watch one
Bilal.
episode and flip a coin.
what year did we first meet?
What, in the podcast or
No, in real life. What year did we meet?
In the
What,
podcast?
me and you? Like 2015, wasn't it? It's 2015.
What the fuck?
I think
That was
Was
year
it
7.
2015?
I think
It was
you
year
guys-
7, was it? Or was
Yeah,
it year 8?
2015, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know, when I
know.
put it in now because I thought of it. I couldn't
Oh.
think of a specific thing. It's just my stupid stuff I've done in Jackbox with you guys. That's kind of
Hey,
my
For
thing.
comedic purposes.
For comedic purposes, obviously.
For legal
mind going
reasons, this
into-
is a joke.
True.
Would you mind going into detail on what you've said in chat?
For legal
I'll put
reasons,
up the
everything he
clips.
is about to say is a joke.
Um,
And there's no
I'll
association with Big Talk.
I'll put the lifeline number on the screen.
Yes.
That's
It's
That's
just
probably
all
wise,
the
but
weird death and
I'm probably
suicide
just
jokes
gonna-
I
I'm
made
just
for
gonna-
some reason.
I'm just gonna, after we say, would you care to elaborate? I'm just gonna put all the clips I can find of Bilal's
I think
suicide
that'd
joke
be too much.
montage
Yeah.
here. Just like, I'm gonna put like 3 up and just skip to the next one.
Well, I don't
I
want
feel
to say
I'm
much more.
chaotic. I'm
but
way
you gotta
more
save a
chaotic
few
in
of those
Jackbox
clips.
because I can be.
Yeah.
Uh, No, there were a concerning amount of them, I think is fair to
I think
say.
one of the episodes I haven't asked you, Bilal, are you okay? And
It's
you
because
never
it's purely
responded.
based on like shock factor and like that. That's what most of my things on.
Yes,
or at least
but
at Jackbox it is.
who needs shock factor when you have Tim?
My guy, it's not. After a point, it wasn't shocking. It was just genuinely concerning.
Yeah,
Anyway, so that's disqualified.
that's mine. Yeah.
Thanks, Bilal. Thanks, Billy.
Thanks for
Epic.
bringing the mood down.
You could just have.
Hey,
what
they
I
are
said.
kind of funny at least.
You probably should have just said Valorant. Just say one of
Just
the
say
random
Valorant.
clips.
Boo, that's
Us three
cringe, bro.
Anyway,
My stuff was actually
okay.
kind of
Does anyone,
funny.
does anyone have anything else to expand upon for their clips? Or
One thing I'll say,
Oh, really, mine's pretty self-explanatory.
I think the best Big Talk moment is all of them.
Yay, that's a
maybe-
wholesome ending.
Yeah.
maybe the real best Big Talk ending
If you-
was the friends we made along the
And
way.
we're moving to the next one now.
right.
Can we
Yeah,
move
so
on?
best people.
Can I?
Eddie. This one
Fuck.
is specifically for you.
Oh, yes,
This is
right.
the best category.
Best.
Surely.
Why don't you introduce this topic and the fucking nominees?
So guess what? I actually have a surprise nominee that I want to bring in.
You
Yo.
piece of shit.
This award goes to 2021's Best Person Named George. We have George Smith, spelt DJORDJIJE Smith.
Just give some context because I need to explain my
Yeah,
fucking
let's
hatred.
explain after.
Later.
Later.
George Smith, spelt GEORGE Smith. George Smith, spelt JORGE Smith. George Clooney. George Bailey. And my surprise nomination,
Jorge Smith.
George R.R. Martin, the writer of Elden Ring.
I expect like a shitty one. So.
Yes! Oh!
Who is the winner, Ed? Who is the winner?
First, we need to give context on my
Oh,
good
let
friends
me give-
George Smith, and George Smith.
Let me give the context for George. So, we all played D&D together, which we can get into that later. But basically, for my first campaign, the one that I ran, I made the stupid fucking decision to allow both Connor and Ed to have their characters be named George Smith with different spellings, and the fucking pain it went through when I was trying to detail their turns. They also had a penguin NPC named George. Not George Smith, thankfully, just George. Now every fucking campaign we've played since together, there's been a goddamn George Smith somewhere hidden in the world. And oh, it does my fucking head in. Last time there was a councilman, his name was George Smith, and
And you killed him.
my character had him killed, but there were two of them, and it's never
both
been
died.
explained.
We'll get to it.
Will we?
Is this in your campaign, Ed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
forgot
just
that?
killed a councilman.
Wait, were you
named
away on that?
I think I was away for that, but I think I
Because
remember
we
mentioning
killed
probably.
a councilman named George Smith, and then we go like, oh no, but Stuart gets attacked out of nowhere, and the twist is, oh, he killed the councilman. It was George Smith, and we're like, wait, he just killed George Smith. That's why he's here. What the fuck?
I think the even funnier part was when I were making the characters, we were making them together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you still allowed us at that. You were in the call with Ed and I. I think in Blah was
The-
there.
I
We
didn't
even
ex-
coordinated the backstory.
Yeah.
I didn't. I helped you coordinate the backstories too, and I regret it because I didn't expect you, especially Connor, to be so fucking
And
painful
now-
with it. Holy
There will
shit.
never be another
Wow.
player character in the game, one of our games of D&D, who is allowed to be called George Smith.
If there's a George
Oh,
Smith
boo.
on a meteor,
What do you
it's
mean?
getting
I
dropped
can't
on.
make a campaign with George Smith in it?
If you make a
Cringe.
character
I-
called George Smith, they're dead, Bilal.
Damn.
They're
I'm gonna
dead.
make him
Anyway,
invisible just so
Ed, you
you
can
can't.
announce the winner.
announce the winner of
You
the
can announce
George.
the winner
sorry.
already.
The George Award.
So, I mean, we didn't actually select a winner, but I feel like
Yeah, because it's
Can I-
Oh,
can I
there
just
is
say
a
who
winner.
we're all
There is a
thinking?
winner.
all
There
right,
is a winner.
Martin. I was thinking, but who are you thinking?
Well, you
the
need that
winner
idea.
of the 2021's best person named George goes to everyone's favorite, George R.R. Martin.
Yes, Elden Ring, baby.
you.
He finished it. He finished it. It's real. You have no idea how happy I am that Elden Ring is real and that I have it. I can't play it because my PC can't run it, but I have it.
Wow,
I'm so
what a
glad.
great award.
Bro,
Thank you
just
very
wait till
What
much.
an emotional.
Bro, Max, just wait till Steam Deck comes out in Australia. Get a Steam Deck.
What
Oh,
is?
You
I
can
thought you were
play
about. I thought you were gonna plug Xbox Game Pass for a second.
I only get Game Pass, but you know what is on Game Pass?
Shut up! Shut up! I'm
And
cutting this
your
out.
music's
Shut
on.
up.
Your music's on.
Okay.
Congratulations to all those Georges. Wow, how fantastic! And with the next category, Connor Murray.
Xbox Game Pass, you can now play
Shut up!
Madden
Shut up!
22.
Oh, nice. Such a bad.
He's gone. He's
I'm
gone.
dead.
There's no more. No more. Oh, fucking.
I'm done.
You can wait. You wait your turn.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
All right, Connor, read out.
Connor
You can
Murray.
read out this category.
Sure. So this category is best literature. I'm gonna be the wrong way. I'm gonna move this on towards camera. Does that? Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, so this was me, Max, kind of going through because no one else reads.
Not
I mean, I
comics.
technically do, and cause if you looked in my room, I have a ton of books, but I honestly didn't read anything last year. Yeah, but yeah, I
Only
don't have
reading I do is text and video games.
I actually
funny.
read quite a
I
bit
allowed
of
one of
actual
those
books
options,
and
I
actually read a
did.
bit of
I probably
actual books
wanted
last year
to.
too.
I kept buying books, but I didn't read them. 'cause
Anyway,
I'm
let's
weird.
get to the category.
Okay, I'm going to. Oh god, I just realized how much DC shit we have in this. I should have
Very good.
thought this through or not had.
They had a good
DC.
year. For comics, they had a good year.
Okay, so we
Anyway.
got Justice League Last Ride, Strange Adventures, Batman the
Doctor
Detective,
Strange Adventures. No, I'm sorry.
Daredevil, and Dark Knight's Death Metal.
So essentially going through this list, like Connor mentioned, this was basically just between him and I sort of going through what we read last year and what we actually remembered and thoroughly enjoyed. Justice League Last Ride is basically just an Elseworld story about far-flung, a kind of closest future in which the Justice League is disbanded after one of the members has died, and just they have to band together to escort a super criminal Lobo across the galaxy, and the shenanigans that ensue from that, basically. Strange Adventures then is a very weird title, I must say. But basically, it's about a character, Adam Strange, who returns to Earth after fighting in a intergalactic war for decades, basically. And he's on the press tour to promote his memoirs about his fight. But as the story goes on, a person is killed after they screamed at him in public, saying that he committed a bunch of war crimes. And so the story is basically Mr. Terrific, who's a detective in the DC universe, who helps sort of uncover what really happened. And it sort of mirrors a lot of real world wars type stories and a lot of sort of that kind of political literature, I suppose. But it was a very interesting read, very somber, definitely more mature, I suppose, but one that I thoroughly enjoyed. Connor, you can take Batman the Detective and Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah,
Death Metal,
that's
sorry.
because I remember reading one of these. I read most of them. So Daredevil. So Batman the Detective is I think it's also an Elseworlds. I believe it's not tied into main canon, or at least it doesn't feel like it. It's Batman going through and having to solve a crime that's taking place across the world, basically. Focal point is in in the UK, I believe. I think it's England, the focal point, and a bit in Europe. So it goes around, solves. I don't really want to spoil too much about because I quite enjoyed it. Daredevil, I know, was one of the things Max quite liked. I've still yet to read any issues of it.
I'll explain Daredevil.
You can go then.
It's fine.
Well,
Okay,
I haven't
so
read Death Metal like since.
it's fine. I'll explain the rest of them then.
came
Sorry.
out.
So Daredevil essentially was Chip Zdarsky's run from starting in last year technically, but continued on through this year, and it's just gotten better and better. I feel essentially the series starts after Daredevil has been inactive for a couple of months after suffering a car accident, actually, which left him hospitalized. So it's basically as he gets back into the swing of things, on his first night out, he makes a really bad mistake when taking down a mugger and accidentally kills a man by throwing his billy club at someone hard enough to knock them down and break their neck. So the first part of the series is basically him going through almost the stages of grief, dealing with the fact that he's now a murderer, pretty much. How he grapples with that in regards to his Catholicism, his moral code that he took up when he became a hero, and how he now continues to justify his actions of being essentially a vigilante while still being a lawyer by day, and how he can justify to himself living these completely contradictory double life that he leads. And I like Connor mentioned with the detective, I don't really want to spoil a lot because the run gets way better as it goes on. There's a lot more than I just explained, but it's fantastic. It's still going now, and it was a fantastic read last year. Dark Knight's death metal in that instance is holy shit. This one was bonkers. It's a sequel to another comic series, Dark Knight's Metal, in which a bunch of Batmen from alternate universes come to the main DC universe, basically just to destroy everything. In this instance, it's that, except the story starts in a sort of darkest timeline in which they won, and it's pretty much DC's latest crisis event, which sort of resets everything to a brand new status quo. It's fairly complicated, I won't lie, but if you're someone who is really already into comics, or even somebody who just wants a bonkers ride to like get you into the brand new run of series that they're releasing now, I think was fairly good for that. It also leads directly into Future State, which was an event they had directly after. It's certainly a lot, but it's something that I really enjoyed. I think Connor really liked it too. And after all, and yep, that's basically just a brief rundown. So I would highly recommend everything on this list. Of course, I do, comic fan. But I think there was a lot of really good comics, really good books, especially that came out last year. We mostly just tried to stick to comics so that we could just make this as the list as short as it is. And our overall winner for the best literature of 2021
There is one more I wanted to mention that's going on now, and we didn't do this because it wasn't really happening. It's DC versus Vampires, which is one of the comics I'm really enjoying. I think Max hasn't. Have you started reading it yet, Max?
I've started reading. I think I got to issue 3.
Yeah, it's up to issue 6 as of time recording, and it's starting to get quite good, I think. And it's an intro. I think it's. I haven't read much about any like DC vampires at all, and it's like an interesting read of it because actually, I think it's also Elseworlds. Or at least it definitely feels like Elseworlds.
It's an Elseworlds, yeah.
A lot of the Elseworld ones are going to be really good because they don't have to
still
be in continuity. They can just be.
Because Alfred's still alive.
Oh yeah, they can just do what they want.
Enjoy just me and Connor talking because when we get to the Smash Bros characters, it's gonna be nothing.
I know Alfred. I've watched Batman.
Yeah, he's
I watched the Lego Batman movie.
He's dead.
I know that.
He's dead in current continuity. It was very sad actually.
No, it's not. There's a movie coming out.
Okay. Anyway, without further ado, we've waffled along long enough. Let's announce the winner. The winner of Best Literature of 2021.
Okay, we've got
We'll
one
do that
other
after. We'll
honorable
do that
mention
after.
that you wanted to bring up, Max. That's on the dock. That was an honorable mention.
Oh dear, yeah.
Do you want to do that now or after the winner? Because it
I'll
can't.
answer
I
after
think
the winner.
after the winner.
After?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the winner.
Okay.
So after that, the winner is Strange Adventures. Strange Adventures won basically due to the quality of the writing, the sort of intriguing, sort of off the wall dialogue, the mystery of the whole thing. I think it was just a really enjoyable read. I was at once confused but hooked for pretty much the entirety of the series, and I think that while its ending is a little bit somber, I want to say, and a little bit sort of lackluster, in comparison to a lot of comic book stories, it's that kind of story where any other ending would have felt a bit too samey, like a little bit of a cop out, and it definitely leaves a lasting impact, and it leaves you thinking about, at the very least, how would I react in that sort of situation, and think it's a surprisingly deep sort of exploration of war and the kind of things that people will do in certain situations in war. And so, and it's made by the same person who wrote Sheriff of Babylon, which is about a semi-autobiographical story about his time in Iraq during the war, training up the police force there. So he has experience with this sort of thing. Yeah, I just thought it was very interesting. And that honorable mention that I wanted to bring up is less so of an award nomination and more so just a memorial, because last year the author of the manga series Berserk, Kentaro Miura, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, he tragically passed away. I think he was in his mid to late 50s. I can't remember the exact age, but essentially he passed away before the series could be finished, and fairly prematurely, which is obviously very tragic. And I thought that it would be I think it was nice to mention that his work is very phenomenal, not just for people who read manga and watch anime, but for everybody who reads comics, because much like the big two companies, Marvel and DC, Berserk has had a massive impact on pop culture as a whole. If you haven't read Berserk, all of it, I haven't read all of it, I haven't watched all of it, but I've started both of that. If you haven't read, you definitely would have seen something from it. You've heard its music, you've seen memes about it, and something like that. You definitely would be aware of the cultural impact, and it is a tragic loss, but I think we can at least take solace in the fact that he is sort of remembered and carried on in the work that he written and the work that he published. And yeah, I just wanted to say rest in peace.
That was nice. That was nice. Yep. Rest in peace, Kentaro. Thank you for your fantastic work in the comic book industry, and of course, congratulations to Strange Adventures. Obviously, they would be completely stoked with a big talkie. So, congratulations to them. I'll take this. I will take this next category.
Oh, moving on. Okay.
Moving on.
Something we can all have some input in finally.
For the award of Best Streamer, a pretty prestigious award. The nominees are Hassan Abi, Ludwig, XQC, Amaranth, J1 and Barjo. All fantastic nominees. I feel like perhaps the biggest snub of the whole Big Talkies was the fact that J1 did not win this award. Tragic to fans around the world, Connor especially. He's been distraught about the decision. He was lobbying hard. He got everyone on board.
Also, our favorite streamer, Kliq Live, didn't get on there, so that's
Kliq unfortunately, due to the fact that he
meet the requirements. No daily streams.
JJ did.
Not make.
JJ did. JJ, big fan. We're a big fan of JJ over here.
JJ didn't meet the requirements, but we like him so much we thought we'd put him on there anyway.
People at home may not know JJ. He's not a big streamer. He's more of a friend of ours, I'd say. He's a small streamer. I think it's fair. We'll link him in the description. He does some entertaining stuff. I'd recommend you go watch him. He is a dancer as well. So if you're particularly intrigued by that, I would recommend it. He also is a fairly good Valorant player. So go give him a watch. He earned his nomination. Would anyone else like to say anything about the nominees? I know that Max, you like Hassan. Unfortunately, he didn't win the award. But
Unfortunately, he didn't. Yes. Yeah. I think Hassan is a It's a very. I'm trying to think of the right words. Sorry. Hassan, I think, is really good for me personally. He was more someone that I think really only me and Jace watch, which is a big part of why he didn't win. But I think his appeal to me is he's I think a really good gateway into sort of understanding and getting into discussing politics, especially particularly left-leaning politics on Twitch and in any sort of online forum. He sort of presents it in a way where you're still watching entertainment that just happens to be politically focused, and it's not all politics, of course. So he has guests on his stream. He does a lot of like meme chats and things like that.
There's some variety for sure.
There's a lot of variety, but I think it's a good sort of gateway into, and I think it's really good that the online left has such a big face, I guess, representing them. One who's relatively uncontroversial, except for like right now, but that's a whole thing we'll probably try to avoid discussing.
Maybe for another big talk.
Another big talk. Well, I'll make a skit about it or something. But yeah, I think he was real. Yeah, just like I mentioned, while
he's had a good year.
So somebody, just Jace and I are really interested. I think more me than Jace, but
look, I partake in a few Hassan streams. I'll tune in when he was doing all the stuff with Stephen Crowder and H3H3. I thought it was quite humorous. So
I dabble in the works of Hassan. I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur and a scholar.
From Max's favourite streamer to Bilal Amaranth snubbed here today. What is your thoughts?
This is I have not watched any of these streamers. I don't watch.
Come on. We know you love Amaranth. You can say it.
I don't know who this is. The only person on this I actually know is Ludwig, and I don't watch Twitch at all. I have no input.
Well, if you're not watching Amaranth, who licks your ears as you go to sleep?
Oh my god.
Look, I think it's fair to say Amaranth has had a meteoric year, for better or for worse. I think he got banned twice in 2021. Honestly, that's pretty good. I reckon do what you do. You get 2 bans, you'll take that.
What's it?
She's still there. She's
still
killing
bad
it.
Publicity.
No, she bought a 7-Eleven. I saw that was pretty
what?
cool. She's rich, man. She's very rich.
God.
She helped start some sort of like an OnlyFans competitor as well. I think she did that with either Penthouse or Playboy. One of the.
What is it, Amaranth fans?
No, it's something to. I think it's something.
Bilal,
with,
what is it?
Playboy with Penthouse.
Yeah, Bilal, you would
Bilal,
know.
what is it? I don't like that I know about this, by the way. I just want to put it out there. I don't like that I remember this, especially when no one else seems to have.
Look, it's Amaranth, good year, but not good enough. The one more person I'll speak on as an honourable mention, and I want Ed to take the reins on it, is Barjo.
Oh, yes.
A very good year. He became a Twitch ambassador, I believe, in 2021. It could have been 2020. I'm not completely sure.
No, I think it was I'm pretty sure it was during 2020. I think he became an actual official Twitch ambassador. But so for those of you who don't know, Barjo used to be a TV personality on the ABC, where he hosted Good Game, the only show on the ABC about video games.
Was it good game or only Spawn Point?
No,
He
he
was
was
both.
he was a good game.
Okay.
It was good game and good game spawn point.
Okay.
He oh, it was like I think like maybe like it was maybe like 5 years ago now that he left.
I would have said maybe longer.
It's been a long time since. It has
Yeah.
been a long ass time. I think we're in, like,
But
year
yeah,
9.
he left Good Game and he started streaming on Twitch full time. And luckily, his personality, sense of humor, and just sense of fun in all his streams has caused him to be super successful, gain quite a large following. He has a lot of sort of like chat ways the chat can like interact and like set off all these kinds of different alerts on his stream. He's got like I think over 50 different alerts just for like random things that people in the chat can trigger. And yeah, he's got a very entertaining streamer.
He's a very good streamer. I've tuned in a few times. He's lovely. I'm
Someone
really
who
happy
didn't-
he's done some good
As
stuff.
someone who didn't actually used to get that, really like Spawn Point all that much when I first saw it. I never watched the original Good Game, but I watched Spawn Point occasionally, and it really wasn't for me. I don't know why, but I just never.
I
really
mean,
enjoyed it that
the
much. But as someone,
actual Good Game is no longer running. It's just Spawn Point now.
yeah,
And
but like
a lot of people have complained that Spawn Point is far too child friendly. They don't review anything above a PG rating.
Yeah. And I suppose it's like I mentioned, just like I never was able to watch Good Game original, so I can't really weigh in on that in particular. In comparison to Spawn Point particularly, I
That's
guess. But I was never really all that big on Spawn Point. But even still, I always thought Barjo himself was really. I always thought he was funny when he was on. I liked his sort of like.
He's a good TV
dry-
personality.
I liked his dry humor, and
He's very likable. He's a likable
Yeah.
guy.
so even like for someone who wasn't big on him when he was a TV personality, I'm very glad that he's having success now on Twitch. That he's a Twitch partner. He mentioned.
Ambassador.
Ambassador.
Yes.
Sorry, my
So
bad.
the next thing up.
Oh
A
shit.
biggest of the bigs.
I don't know a lot about Twitch. Be honest.
That's fair.
But yeah. So I'm really glad that he's seeing success, and yeah, I hope to see. I'm excited to see how he goes in the future.
Absolutely, but unfortunately for Bajo, there can only be one winner, and it isn't
And that
him.
winner is.
The winner for best streamer, it had to
John Wall, you
be.
son of a bitch.
Sorry, fuck man, jeez, stop. Best streamer, the winner is Ludwig. I mean, a fantastic year from Ludwig in 2021. Everyone will talk about the subathon and how great that was. He broke the all-time record for most concurrent subs on Twitch, beating Ninja's record. It was an incredible month, streaming for 30 days straight. Just an incredible effort. I mean, really, really impressive. His content, it's very friendly. Anyone can really walk into it and really relate to it. I suppose they can really immerse themselves in his stuff. He just like Bajo is very likable. He's had a fantastic year, both in the content that he's made. He's done many game shows, and he's held many tournaments, especially for Super Smash Bros. Melee. But just a fantastic year from Ludwig. Really paving the way, and of course the move to YouTube later on. Really crazy. I didn't think that he would move, but he was very honest and earnest about why he moved, the reasons he did it. And I feel like it's a testament to him that he can stream on YouTube, which is a far less prevalent platform than Twitch. much harder to hold viewers, and he can stream to as many, if not more, there. So a great year, very impressive. He's grown an incredible amount. He's my favourite streamer by far, and I think he's a completely deserving winner for best streamer.
Very creative and entertaining streaming ideas.
And now that we've finished that, we can now move
Max.
on to...
Max, I'd love you to take this next award, please.
Oh, I'd be happy to, Jace. My personal favourite award of the night, the what we are lovingly calling, dedicating, to friend of the channel, Isaac Butterfield.
Thanks, Isaac.
Butsman KBC moment, aka Best Controversy. The award is so named after my, I believe, either first or second most viewed channel. It keeps changing. Video, sorry.
Is it the first?
It's first or second. It keeps changing.
First.
It's first now? Okay. So my first most viewed channel, video, on my channel, thank you. Where I call out Isaac Butterfield for getting mad at trans people in Star Wars or something. I can't even remember. I've watched that video for fucking ages.
Something like that.
Yeah. So essentially this award is in relation to what our favorite controversial moments, or what our most controversial moments of the past year were. I'll start us off. This award needs no explanation, I hope. The infamous Connor and women Jackbox.
Here's the clip. Play the clip. Play the clip.
Let's act out the clip so I know where to put it.
No, you'll know where to put it.
Connor,
You can't say
you gotta
that.
understand how that sounds.
That was so... I'd be fucking
I wish I could
crying.
forget about that, you know.
Dude, I gave you my top vote for it, to be fair.
I don't
For
care, I
some
don't
reason.
like that. Like, it's
Too bad.
one of those things, I won't ever forget it. Because of how, like bad it made me feel.
When you're famous,
We won't either.
the day that you become
I know, when I'm-
famous, someone's gonna cancel you online for what you said.
Probably.
We took it out of
Would you like to issue a quick apology?
No, you can issue a
Because I tried
clarification.
to, and you guys didn't accept it.
Yeah, Connor.
I did it in the fucking video. I'm 95% certain I did, and you guys just didn't care.
I don't know.
It was
Well,
too
for the
funny.
Here's the clarification, though, for those who are actually aware. He didn't mean that women can't say no to him like they're not allowed to. What he meant was that he is so irresistible, that they won't
They willingly wouldn't
I'm
want to.
95%
Yeah.
certain that's what I kind of meant. I think because it was so long I can't really. What I think I was trying to do was going like, this has to work. It's gotta work. I've tried so many other options. This has to work. I think that's what I intended it to be, but I didn't think I got that.
Yeah,
right.
I think we're digging a hole here, fellas. Let's move
I
on
don't-
to the next.
Nobody, just transparency. No one
True.
thinks
No one
bad of
actually-
Connor. It's just such a super funny clip. It's just so funny.
Connor, I believe, of all, is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. I don't think he's ever done. Look, he doesn't think anything poorly about anyone.
It's so
I don't
preposterous
think.
that we have to say this.
I think that video's
I
changed
think
the way
this
I'm
is all.
playing
This is all
Jackbox.
for Connor watching this
Okay.
later, so that he knows
I'm not
that
watching
we
this
acknowledge.
later. No, I made it. So this is the thing. I'm not watching this video because of this, and I'm also decide whenever we do Jackbox for YouTube, I'm going to do different. I'm going to try different humor to what my normal stuff is.
Fair.
Because I was
That could
just
be
doing
good.
stuff because of just playing with friends, but I can't do that if we're going to do it to YouTube.
I mean,
I
Like
get
if
that.
if that video was not going to YouTube, we would have forgotten about it by now. Yes.
Maybe.
I mean,
It
I
was
reckon we
very
would've.
funny. It
If you
was
guys
very
would,
funny.
I would remember it.
it's pretty funny. Moving along.
Moving on.
I
Moving on.
think this is Ed's moment here.
No, this is yours. The next one.
Yours.
Mine was the top one. I don't know
What?
whose this is.
No,
Me and Blau never
Max,
did this.
Nominees.
Max trying to add suicide as a D&D skill check.
That's not mine. Mine is Connor and women.
Well, I
I
never
don't know
added one.
who. I don't know who.
I didn't
I
add
don't-
one.
Yeah,
I don't know who
Max,
this one
this
is.
wasn't
I
people
don't even
added.
remember.
this was a group conversation
Yeah,
we did
well-
to put them on.
Yeah,
This wasn't one person's idea.
yeah, but I
These
mean,
are all the nominees. These are all the
Yeah.
nominees.
But this is the thing. I don't remember this at all.
Neither
Does
do I.
anyone?
It was just, I think it was just a random passing joke you made
Yeah.
in one of our D&D sessions. Like, it wasn't recorded at all.
I don't remember.
It was just in a random D&D session. You
That's
were
why my
like,
character was
haha,
like-
can I make suicide a D&D skill check or something?
It must have been in my campaign. One of you like tried to die or something.
Probably was.
Yeah, that
fucking-
makes
I
sense.
don't remember, but whatever the case, it's on there.
Yeah.
It
So,
is on there.
Congratulations for the nomination.
For Bilal's controversy, as mentioned before, Bilal and his dark suicide jokes.
Any of my dark humor that came out in Jackpot.
Insert a couple more clips of his dark humor
I don't know
here.
if I want to.
That's why we couldn't play them all at the start.
I'll throw half of them here and half of them. I'll just play the clip of me going, Bilal, are you okay? Please tell,
Yeah, sure.
tell us. And I don't know
Finally.
who this one was.
This one
Final
was
nomination.
for me.
Okay, the final
I-
nomination.
Obviously.
Final nomination. Me creating the sequel to 9/11.
9,
12.
12.
That's right. What?
10,
No,
12.
it was 10/12,
Yeah,
Yeah.
10, 12.
Ugh.
which is a way better joke.
Fantastic.
Yeah, what?
If you don't know, 10/12 involves 3 towers and 3 planes, as opposed to 1822, which involves 4
towers.
planes, 4 towers, and 4 planes.
Of course.
Bigger,
Naturally.
better. It's coming.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway. So,
What controversial moments?
what do you guys? What do
Very
you think won? Connor, I'm sorry.
You
It
know how
had to
you
be.
sent me the message about on TikTok? That's how I feel about this.
That is fair.
But I've let it go because I'm like, everyone else likes it, I'll just leave it.
Yeah, that is fair.
That's big of you.
Mm.
That's big of you.
Well,
Please accept this big talkie.
yeah, Connor.
The thing
Jeez.
is, the viewers that watch all the Jackbox won't understand when we upload another Jackbox video the change I'm going to make with the humor I do. And the
That's fair enough.
No, yeah.
Because the other thing is, like, the options I had there was either the one Max did or something that was super bland that wouldn't be fun for YouTube.
Mm.
So I had to choose Max's. Because the other one, I can't remember what it was, but it was the blandest thing you'll ever see, I think. It
There
was
was
like,
some-
during
there
day
was
I
some
would just
bad
kept on getting Max's.
I think I put in sex with men like 6 times.
Yeah, and I go 3 times.
Yeah,
Once
that
I got
was
2
super
of them.
weird.
He still does it. He did in the
I know.
last Jackbox.
It's so. I don't know why. Such a weird bit. It's like a J Schlatt bit. Big
Yeah.
hot men.
Big hot sweaty stupid.
Any which way.
Anyway,
What
moving
controversial moments for the next category? I think it's fitting that Connor.
Did we announce
You
the
take
winner
this
of that?
one.
yeah, Connor.
Yes, Connor.
Yeah, okay.
Connor won the big talkie.
Congratulations, Connor. It'll be mailed to you never. It's in the mail, don't worry.
It's in
It's
the
in the mail.
I'm not picking it
Mail.
up. They can send back to the post office.
moving address.
No, because
Not
I have to go down
delivered.
and
Please
grab it.
return.
If I never go down and grab it, they'll just send it back.
True.
No, you
That's
grab
not
it and then you resend it to someone. Send it to Isaac Butterfield. But anyway, wait. For the next category, Connor, would you please?
Do we not
Take
want
it away.
Bilal to do this? Because this is more of a
I
Bilal.
feel like that's more of my thing, you know?
I was gonna have Bilal do the next one.
Okay. So I'll do this
And
Oh,
one.
I can do the
therefore-
next one if you want.
Oh,
Hey,
no,
Well,
Bilal needs to do- Bilal needs to
it's
do the
fitting
next
for
one.
Bilal.
I think it's Bilal to do this one.
Bilal can do both of them. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Bilal. You and Connor take this away, Julie.
Maybe we should have rehearsed this.
Probably,
So,
because it's-
so Max's opinion
nearly 2
doesn't matter in
hours.
this one now.
No.
because he's changed it.
No.
Okay,
Huh?
so we have
Continue.
2 options here for the next character, which is Best Smash DLC. There were... How many DLC characters Bilal released for Smash?
Hey,
In
12
total, there were
technically.
12. There were
12?
12.
Okay, and we
Yeah.
have
12 including Piranha Plant.
we have put it
Yeah.
down to 2 between the 5 of us. We have decided to merge that 12 down to 2. And
It was
I
technically
said,
3. Max's opinion,
No,
but Max's
2.
opinion doesn't count. Okay.
2.
Mine has changed.
Let's start
you,
We
Max.
with
have.
okay.
Let's start with my favorite.
Let's start
No.
with Max's reasoning on why he
No, I was going to end
believes.
with that. I
Gen-
reckon we end with that.
No, I reckon we start
We'll
with it to get it
start.
out of the way.
Let's flip a
Get Max's
coin, fellas.
terrible
Connor-
opinions out of the way.
Terrible. I'm
It's
telling
not
you.
terrible. He has a point.
Idiotic.
No, that's just not even true.
No,
That's
it's
not a-
No, it is downloadable content. He
it's a
could
straw,
download.
guys, it's a straw man. You're falling for a straw man. That's what this is. Now let me present my straw man to the public.
You like him? I built him myself out of straw.
And wheat. Okay, so my favorite DLC character for Smash Bros. Is Ike. Now before you put down your pitchforks real quick, let me explain myself.
I hope this
So,
is the thing Max gets
when you-
cancelled on.
when-
Because
Same.
When you buy Smash Brothers, either physically or digitally, you have to then download the game onto the Switch, right? That game includes all the starting roster characters. Sure, you have to play to unlock them, but there's still downloaded data onto the game. Therefore, every character is downloadable content. The entire game
downloadable
is
content
downloadable content.
Counter.
downloadable
Max,
content
I
is
have a
supposed to be something you download. Yeah,
According to dictionary.com,
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
DLC, abbreviation, 1. Downloadable content, additional content that can be purchased online and added to a video game as to enhance its
There
features.
you go.
Uh-huh.
You have to
the
buy
DLC,
it
you have access to the
separate.
weapon
Is
packs
that
Exactly.
the
and more
only
content DLC.
definition?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
I
I'm
said
going
both
off the
of them.
literal
Your
word.
theory
I'm
is
going off of-
incorrect.
Okay,
Not
no,
even
listen,
close,
stop, shut up, let me talk. This is the point I'm making, okay? So, because you're going off the dictionary definition because you're putting the two words into one word, one term. See, I'm splitting them into two, therefore, it is downloadable and it is content. So,
That's not what it is,
That's
Max.
not
That's
it
not how the
objectively
English
is.
language works.
it literally
That's not-
objectively is. English major, you are literally objectively wrong. That is exactly how the English language works.
But this
That
is
is
the
literally exactly
That is not
how
how it
the
works.
that is literally
It
exactly
sounds
how
like
the
that.
English language works.
Hey Max,
What do you
just be
fucking
clear,
mean?
What is the topic called? It's Best DLC Smash.
Best
So what does
Smash
DLC
DLC.
stand for? Downloadable content. You can't. The entire thing is Best DLC. It's not Best Downloadable Content. It's Best DLC.
DLC
Downloadable
is
content.
one
Stands
thing.
for downloadable
and
content.
You read out downloadable
So,
content.
You're saying
Downloadable content.
DLC. The term is Best DLC. That's the one you put
Hey,
in the doc.
hey. These guys can't see the doc, and downloadable content was read out.
I'm going to do this. I'm doing
I don't
this.
care what Max
While you're arguing this, I'm
Irrelevant.
putting it right next to where I am. He's muted.
Max's
Good.
opinions are
So,
relevant. I
to
don't
add
care.
back down to the
Whole point is that it
two
was a gag
options.
anyway, because I don't give a shit.
It
about
wasn't even
Smash Bros.
funny, Max. Let's be honest.
You're not even funny.
Okay.
You're making a
Just
suicide
fucking
joke.
annoying.
Yeah.
I never
anyway,
thought
let's-
So
that,
we,
I never
Continue.
thought that Super Smash Bros would be the one that spikes
no,
the melee.
it's not Smash.
Dude,
it's
I-
We're all
hate-
pissed off
I
Max
fucking-
because he's trying to
someone-
prove a point
I
for no
fucking
reason.
hate this
If
game,
Max
okay?
gets-
I'm sorry, I fucking
I-
hate
I
Smash
mean-
Bros so much.
If
But
Max
let's
fucking
do
needs my
continue.
recording, he's gonna be so fucking screwed because I'm talking to myself and shouting. So
To
it's gonna
himself.
be fucking
Oh, he's recording on his end.
yeah. So if you get this
Oh.
fucking recording, Max, is yours is fucked up. Good luck, because I've talked over when you muted me, and I'm louder than Discord.
I didn't mute you.
I got muted in Discord. I continued talking. So now
Yeah,
in
but
my
I didn't.
recording,
I didn't
you
mute you.
muted
though.
me.
I didn't mute you.
You would muted yourself, were you not?
I was muted
I
before.
did not mute
At
you.
this,
I did not mute
Yeah.
you then.
Yeah,
Just
someone
then you got
unmuted me,
muted?
then I muted
Whatever.
up
We're
again.
and we're just
Anyway.
going with this. We
I
have
didn't
we
mute.
basically have
all right.
two characters.
So for
from
me
the show.
and Connor's vote for the best DLC character, we voted for Joker from the Personas 5.
We really do live in a society.
Now, my reasoning for Joker, first of all, I'm a big Persona fan. I like Persona 5. Good
funny
game.
Persona game.
Funny Persona man. He tear off his face and he screams Persona, and then they come out and kill the shadows.
Kind of
It's
like
very cool.
Dream in a way.
Kind of like, yeah!
Just like
He
Dream.
takes off the mask, and that's what the mask is for.
That's
What the
what
point
the
of the
mask
mask is.
is.
That's what
I'm
the
gonna-
point of the anyway.
I'm gonna put in that
he's
clip, the
also,
video of
my-
Ed Sheeran singing "Mask" by Dream. I made.
Anyway, and also my other reasoning is because he's my main. Ever since he came out, he has been my main, and he still is my. Are you two editing over each other to try and?
No.
Okay,
What's
good.
good.
You're
just saying.
paranoid.
I thought I saw a thing that came up that Connor just made an edit on the Google Doc, and I'm like, Connor, did you just freaking remove the Ike thing? But no, it's still there.
Bro, I don't
I
give
have
a
thoroughly
fuck.
enjoyed
yeah.
The
this.
Ike thing was a joke. Was literally a joke. I
Yes!
don't give a shit.
Moving on from the Ike thing. Yeah. Joker is still my main to this day. I really enjoy his playstyle. Think he's such a cool, well-made character, and he's also still top tier to this day, and probably won't be ever not be top tier because you know.
I can look
Okay,
It's
I
not
can't
getting
argue
too
against
much
it. Okay,
changes, so-
yeah, fair
Fun.
enough. You know you have a fair enough opinion.
Connor.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Why do
'cause
you like Joker?
I don't really. Smash Bros. Is a game I played because you guys played it. Most of it. I've played by myself just on all characters. So my main wasn't Joker, but I chose Joker because the thing I remember getting told by you, Ed and Bilal, was they crashed the servers.
Yeah.
That was one of the like funny things I liked about it because he just showed up and he crashed the servers. And I was like,
Yep, day
So,
one. Joker
As
came out.
an explanation for that, everyone. They announced the date, but they didn't announce the exact time. However, people were just able to narrow down the exact time they would be releasing him. So
Yeah.
everyone was basically, yo, this is the first big DLC character release. Let's all download him and play
Yeah.
online with
And a
him.
pretty big
everyone
one
tried,
as well.
yeah, everyone
Pretty big
tried
one
to
for
do it
Smash standards.
at the same time, and
It
Nintendo's servers
Couldn't handle it.
Bro,
couldn't handle the amount of people trying to download the update at one time, so they just shut it all down and no one could get the update for like a while.
This is
yeah,
just
how
like
long
that
did it
movie
take? Like
Joker
2
from
to 3 hours
2014.
for us to get
I
it?
want to say, for me,
A
I
few
think
hours.
like 4 hours until I could actually get the update.
I think I got it a little earlier because I was being more persistent with it. But yeah, it did take a while, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, and we were
And
in a
then the best part
Discord
about-
call at the time too.
Yeah. And then also the funny thing about it is that for the longest time, Joker wasn't even top tier in the game, considered top tier. It was like mid tier for a large majority until people realized, wait, this character good.
How naive we once were.
How naive we once were as Pikachu
What
sat
fools we
in
were,
mid tier for
young
like
children.
90% of the game.
Remember when people thought Pichu was better than Pikachu?
I'm gonna be honest, he
I
kind
did.
of was for a lot of it. He was.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Anyway,
Joker
continue.
is popular. What was
Anyway.
the other option?
Anyway,
So,
just-
for
second
Jace and Bilal,
yes, for me, technically, I am in 2 characters, but I'll explain that to me. Jace, your character was Minecraft Steve. What was your
Minecraft
reasoning for
Steve.
that?
Well, you guys know me. Fabled Super Smash Bros. Ultimate player. Just really the best of the best. They call me the second coming of Mango. It's understandable. I get it. Like, I see my skill. Despite not owning a Switch and playing the game a total of twice, I do think my general matchmaking skill is unmatched. I think it is unrivaled. And despite
should've-
never playing with the character Steve, I would imagine playing with him is broken, as he is from Minecraft, and that is a great game. Steve has many things that go for him. For instance, I saw there was an animation where he has a pickaxe. That would hurt to get hit with, I would imagine. I would imagine there's also an axe. I don't know for sure, but maybe. That would probably hurt.
And
Change
I
my
think-
confirm
answer.
acts exist.
I just, objectively speaking, I would rather be kicked than hit with an axe. Like,
Yeah.
that is my reasoning. Thank you.
Can I change my answer? I've been convinced.
No.
Fuck.
No.
Ike's a
You're
good
on
option.
Bray, this is your fault, Max.
Ike's a good option. Bilal, do you have any and call me crazy. Maybe a more realistic reason for choosing Steve.
Alright, I'll
How
go
could
over
you give
mine
one?
because
That was
mine
the
goes
most
over
realistic option you could give.
mine goes over two options. For one of my options is Steve for the reason of my favorite DLC character, because I've played Minecraft for like since like 2011, 2012 when I played the game. I've been playing the game for like the whole time. It's like probably like up there in like favorite games of all time for me. And it's like when I got Ultimate, 'cause Ultimate was basically the first game I got, and it was like for a while, and like for the DLC, it was like, damn, it would be cool if Minecraft Steve would be in Smash. And like when the reveal came out, it was legit the only time I was genuinely excited and happy for a character to be revealed in Smash. That's probably what other people have felt for like other characters, like for like Joker or stuff like that. Yeah, but like it was
big
for
event,
that for
a
Steve.
big
Yeah,
event.
And Steve
like-
is
yeah.
pretty massive to be.
oh,
I
it
think-
is ginormous, like biggest game franchise in like the world, pretty much.
And,
Like
like,
by
I think
far
it-
the most recognizable
I think the
character.
big thing too was like, who thought they would ever actually do it, and who thought
I
they
know.
would ever actually like the fact that they actually somehow managed to translate Steve into Minecraft in
Into-
a way that
yeah,
doesn't- into Minecraft into Smash Bros.
Smash.
Sorry,
Yeah.
in a way that doesn't.
I think that's what I
Steve
also
in
really
Minecraft?
like about it. Like,
Steve
is
from
what they
Minecraft
did
in
is
Minecraft.
what they
I
managed
wanna-
to
I
do
wanna-
with Steve in Smash is that they managed to translate Steve's weird moveset of whatever he can do in Minecraft into Smash. Is also really well done as well. Like it is also really good. Like I think it is up there in like best DLC in general, because along with like Joker breaking basically all of like Nintendo's like online service and stuff, Steve was also like the only character to like basically break Twitter at the time.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Steve
I remember.
destroyed Twitter, which is also pretty funny on its own.
Good.
I want
Finally.
to point out though,
Finally.
a joke that went around the time of Steve's announcement and release in Smash. There was a joke that when Steve was released, the animators for Smash cheered with joy while the programmers screamed in pain.
I know. Because all the
I
animators
saw
do is
that.
like just the simple walking animations. It was pretty basic what they had to do, and the programmers had a fun time of all the bugs they had to fix after that, which was like
Well-
2 patch notes of bugs after Steve got released. They had.
Well, gentlemen, I think
And-
it's that special time of the video where we.
Hey, I
pick someone's
technically haven't gone
camera.
over my second one yet. And
Oh,
my
this
second
one.
option, which I think is like the best character in
I feel like
general.
it can.
for DLC.
I feel like it can be fairly put as the winner of the award. I know even the
Fairly, yeah.
discussion one we're not meant to say it, but I think it's pretty unanimous. In
I think
the
it
very
is.
least
Yeah.
skill.
It is a long
It's
choice
Joker.
to which I think I can go over quickly, but I think like best character genuinely in Smash for DLC is Joker from Persona 5. Not for the reasons Ed and Connor said, obviously, because those are like external ways, but like I think like one obviously Joker from Persona 5, like the Persona series itself is relatively big for Smash, like to be represented into Smash
Very
in general. Like that's already a good accomplishment. But like I think it's the way how much they put into Joker as a character is so unique in a way for Smash, because like they like gave him like a somewhat basic kind of moveset, like fast, nimble combo type character with like relatively unique specials and a gun.
He's just really fun to play. I think
He
that's
is fun to
the
play, but then
basic-
like when you get like Arsene as well, is like honestly a really unique mechanic, like charging up a gauge, like similar to how Cloud works. You charge
Remember
up
back
something-
when we thought, oh wow, a cool creative comeback mechanic in this video game. Wow, this isn't gonna become stale or a theme at all.
but then and then giving it like making his like normal move set into something like the same exact thing, but changing the playstyle completely different from being, while he was initially like as a combo character who couldn't kill as well off of like smash attacks or like stuff like that with good strong areas. You get Arsene, it's literally just then everything kills now at this point. It's changing the existing moveset and then making it making it play in a completely different style of what you
It's
would normally do with the same
almost,
thing.
It's almost, I would say, similar to how you can use different stances in games like Tekken. Not obviously not the same sort of mechanic, but definitely the same result.
Playing the same
Yeah.
character in a different way is basically what it is. And then there's also the other stuff they gave Joker, which for some reason none of the other DLC got even remotely got close to. Like, but the Persona music soundtrack is obviously just incredible on its own. And then like I think the stage is by far the best. Well, it's a casual stage,
you get a
obviously, but like
haircut?
it's by far the best casual stage from all the DLC characters. All the other ones, honestly, I'm gonna say they kind of suck. I hate them, and they're bad.
Wow.
They are not
Political.
good. They are boring.
Ruthless.
Most of them are plain or boring, or just not fun to play on. I play Smash competitive, like not super competitive, but like competitively and like casually. So it's like they're not fun to play on for either. Some of them,
I'm not a
but
fan
like
of how controversial we're getting here, Bilal. We like to keep things up.
yeah, I'm getting off
Keep these
that.
arguments
Yeah,
to a li-
I think Joker
Just
like
kidding,
got like
sorry.
Joker did get like the best stage. He got like some of the best music for like Persona music is just really good. And then for some reason he was like the only character with like a somewhat unique Final Smash, where like obviously being like a cutscene Final Smash, which is fine on its own, though the Final Smash itself is really good. Having a unique mechanic in it where you can move back and forward with it. And then also while it kills over 100%, along with being relatively strong on its own, it gives like a unique end finisher when you kill with as the final stock, and also just his like victory screen is also unique and different. And Joker Kazuya technically has one with a unique voice actor for his thing, the original from his game, and then Sephiroth, only characters with like unique like end screen victory poses kind of things. Joker's obviously being, I think, the better one because of how unique it is and how accurate it is to the game.
Is really
yeah, I think-
personalized.
Yeah, they put
Right.
a lot of effort into Joker, and then
Yeah.
it honestly felt a little disappointing to look at the other DLC and think, oh, they just kind of got the bare minimum for what DLC kind of gets. And it's like, they could, whatever.
It's probably just to do with the
Strong
relationship
start, but whatever.
between-
They could have put a little more but into
I
them or
think it
something,
was a
but
lot
whatever.
to do with. I have to guess a lot to do with the relationship between the two companies and just the
Maybe.
process they had to go through to actually.
But they
get
wanted to
Joker
put a lot
the
more.
process they had to go through to get Joker into the game, I suppose. And I guess
Yeah.
once you get, not to say that was easy, but once you sort of get that first DLC
Yeah.
characters afterwards,
You want to talk
there's a
about
lot-
difficult characters to get
well,
in.
afterwards, there's a lot less effort, I suppose.
Yeah,
And
you
a
want
lot
to
of
talk about
mo- and I think-
difficult characters. I was gonna try getting Sephiroth in. That took them
I think that's
Nintendo
probably
a lot
why
of
they were
effort.
so
And
downplayed.
Sora.
Why
And
they
Sora.
were-
Oh.
Probably
Wow.
why they were so downplayed, I suppose, just because
Yeah.
of how hard they were to get it. Maybe they probably weren't allowed to.
Yeah,
do
but there's like a
as much with them.
significant difference of quality between
Yeah, but I
Joker
think that's
and
just because
the
of
others.
the limitations of what they were legally and contractually
Maybe.
allowed to do.
Yeah, or they just
Anyway,
want
I
to put an
think-
extra flair for Joker.
Fellas, I think it's time we take a quick break because it's time for that time of the video where we pick one person to be the thumbnail of the video. Who wants to do the best shocked face for me quickly?
Yeah, I got it. It's my video idea. What?
We need an angry one. Bilal, can you be looking that way and just look really angry?
Just
I'll do like scared.
Wow, what a
you-
great break, guys.
incredible.
I just see
Great.
Jason. I just picture like the boogeyman from WWE.
I was trying to do Danhausen.
Oh, yeah, okay, I can see
Uh,
that.
All right.
Anyway.
fellas. Continuing
After
on.
that,
Bilal,
Congratulations. Congratulations to Joker, Minecraft Steve, and of course, Ike. Congratulations.
Now,
Thank you.
continuing on from that theme of Bilal presenting awards, I think it's only fitting he presents our next memorial award. In fact,
Yay.
Bilal, why don't you take it away?
So we got the award for the best guest on Big
Oh,
Talk.
what's the name of the award? Sorry.
Yeah, what's the name of the award?
So the name for this award is the Lashik Spark Memorial Award.
God
Is-
bless.
Rest in
is-
peace. Thank
Rest
you,
in
Lashik
peace.
Spark.
Today's the day we finally explain what happened to Lashik Spark is. I'm gonna cut to black here. Sorry. A few seconds.
Unfortunately, his demise
Redacted.
was his redacted demise
Inevitable. No, we're not allowed to say.
was
anything about
it was
Bilal.
inevitable, and
Bilal's cut the footage.
it was the action we were forced to take in order to save the world.
Yeah.
What did he do? Holy
Bilal,
shit!
Bilal, could you?
Was he
could
like
you give-
conspiring with Al
You
Threatened to
Qaeda?
never know.
He threatened
You
Can
never
you
know
to.
give
what happened.
Can you give the nominees of the Lashing Spark Memorial Award, please?
So all plentiful amount of nominees we have.
We had a large list of people to select. from.
Yeah, we have Calamari Plays.
And the winner is.
And the winner is Calamari Plays as a
Hey!
I knew it.
list.
A bit of an unexpected winner, a little bit of
Yeah,
an underdog
true.
there.
Truly a shock.
It should be noted. Originally Jace was a nominee, but because he's actually a host now, that
Yeah,
disqualified
we
him.
decided to say
In
no.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Will you put Jack in there because of the
Jack,
big
Jack and Zahn. Jack and Zahn
Yeah,
was also
she-
thinking.
We could have put.
He's
Jack in
not.
there.
Zan was our
It was-
audience member. He doesn't count.
It
He
was
doesn't
so
Doesn't
late.
deserve it.
We don't say his name on this podcast. He's like
Yeah,
he's
we
gonna
don't
get-
say audience member
He's
number
gonna
one
get,
on
he's
here.
gonna get lashing sparks.
He's only credited as an extra.
Audience
He
member
doesn't get a
number
name.
one.
He's gonna get lashing sparked.
But
Anyway.
yes,
I'll make sure of
congratulations,
that.
Number one award.
congratulations to Callum. Truly a monumental victory. The big.
I mean, we
talk
did have
will be
Jack
in the post.
as
I
like
said that.
I'll let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
let him know he's won. So I'll let him know to watch the video
cool.
to know he's won.
you can make sure to send us his reaction or whatever.
He's not gonna give a shit.
For the next category, I would like Connor and Ed both to read out the nominees, please.
All right. For the best ongoing game, so I should start by explaining, this is the best game that did not come out in 2021, but it received update and to 2021.
Was
adding
continually
new
played.
content. So
It was
Live
cool
service
and
and everything.
epic.
I
Cool
fuck
and
Bilal's
epic game.
reasoning. The best
Alright.
cool
Cool
and
and
epic
epic.
game that didn't release
Cool
in
and epic.
2021.
Yes.
all right,
Epic.
Epic and very cool.
shall I read out the nominee?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Please.
The nominees for the best ongoing game are Valorant, Warframe, Apex Legends, the Jackbox Party Pack series, which sounds like a bit of a stretch, but it's weird to lope in a new Jackbox game with
Yeah.
actual games, so we decided to put the whole series here.
Yeah.
And Minecraft. Does anyone have anything to say about honorable mentions, or should I?
I guess-
Minecraft cool.
I think.
I think
Minecraft.
Minecraft did get quite a bit though because
I-
of the
Like, I've
significant-
started playing Minecraft again recently, of course,
Yeah.
with you guys and such,
Oh.
and it's
possible
amazing how
synergy.
much they've added.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I think also just an accomplishment we do need to
That's
kind of
a
mention
field
that
days.
Minecraft in general hit like a trillion views on YouTube in
Oh,
total,
Wow.
which is a big accomplishment on its own. So
Yeah.
that's I think that's something that should get mentioned at least. Yeah, and that's how big Minecraft is in general,
Sorry,
About
Jason was
50
saying-
especially how
episodes. That's
popular
perfect.
it's become and like that.
So you were saying something, Jace?
Just it's a big game. That's an incredible achievement to get that many views
Yeah.
on YouTube. That's
Yeah.
that's really impressive.
And how it stayed along for so long as well, for like 10 years, even more than that now.
It's had a resurgence over the last few years. There were some
Yeah.
dire days in there, but nowadays it's looked on with some really good fondness and
Dude,
Yeah.
some of
willingness
those
to play.
views were from me. My God.
Dude, some of
Wait,
them,
wait,
some of
that
them,
was
was
you.
me too.
dude, some of them were from me as well.
I think,
Big Talk
20
saved
did stuff.
Minecraft.
I-
Big
Big
Talk,
Talk
dude,
saved
that's the title. Big Talk saved Minecraft, the 2021 Big Talkie Awards. That's the title,
Yeah.
fellas.
Anyway, I'm gonna.
Otherwise, I guess I think there are a lot of
I
sort
think
of good games on here. Jack, like Ed mentioned, the Jackbox series is sort of hard to. You can't really pick like Party Pack 8, I suppose. When like I guess it's one of those games where you sort of have to lump them all together into one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of the appeal. I think the appeal of it. Spoiler, it's not the winner, but I think the appeal of a game like Jackbox is it really is one of those like very sort of few party games that I know of. Sorry,
That you
is
play
very
quickly
much
as well.
just play quickly, but it's like solely focused on like having fun and playing games with your friends. It's the same sort of joy you would get with something like Cards Against Humanity or with something like Joking Hazard, Drawing Without
Funny
Dignity,
haha
anything like
moment.
that. Even Uno, but those same kind of like classic nostalgic card and board games. And I think personally, emotionally, there really is no more joy like than playing a game like that with friends and just having some fun dicking around, making some
yeah.
nonsense.
And that's why that's on
in-
here and not
yeah.
Uno, because Max
In-
couldn't run Uno on his computer
Yeah, I
because
couldn't run
Uno is
Uno.
too strong for
Have you
that.
tried
in-
running Uno?
I'm not
Recently?
risking it. I'm not
Oh,
risking
fair
it.
enough.
I think it's
and-
worth not the
and-
risk in case it somehow bricks his computer because
Fair
Uno
enough.
is just
Yeah.
too powerful for
But
this
yeah,
world.
I know, we do sort of like make fun of Connor because of the Jackbox moment, but I do hope genuinely, like,
I feel like
there
I
really-
get the
I
fun
really
poked.
is-
We and you honestly
Yeah,
get the
I-
fun poked at more than Connor does. Connor
Yeah,
got it
but
for that
I
one
think
moment.
I think
game,
Connor's
which
more
is wild,
Connor's
in
is
my
more
opinion.
severe. Yeah,
Connor
Look,
got it for
I
one
think-
moment. We do it to you a lot because you have a lot of stuff and you get the
But I
best
don't
reaction
think
off of
that's
it.
as
And then I
bad,
just have the stupid
'cause
stuff
just
that I get it off of
everything,
because
I
I have
think- I
tons
just-
of weird
I-
ones.
if I can just finish, I meant to say, like, genuinely, I know that we do meme you because of that moment, but we only do it because we do genuinely think that it was funny. It's not because we think you're bad or anything like that. And I think seriously, there is really very, 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 very few joys in my life that even compare to playing Jackbox with you, especially in particular.
Jackbox.
I got way more emotional about Jackbox than I thought I was gonna be today.
You like
Um,
Jackbox, man? I guess
I do!
I didn't know.
I like
Didn't know you
spending
felt
time.
this way.
I like spending time with my friends, and Jackbox is
We've dedicated way
Okay.
too much time to Jackbox.
Yeah, we're gonna just go to the winner.
for it not to be the
Hold on,
winner. Yeah,
before we do that, I feel like I should talk about Warframe because if I do it, it's not going to get any love from anyone else because I'm the only one who still plays it.
Oh,
Sad.
sell
Yeah,
out.
to be fair,
sell
I
out.
play it like once every couple of years. Like I restart playing it, and then I stop playing it forever because I think, oh, there's more after the tutorial. I'm like, okay.
You beat the tutorial, like, wait a second, I have to do more
there's-
stuff?
It's not done? Fuck, I thought it was over. It took me like 6 hours.
Welcome to Warframe. You don't get the real story until 150 hours in.
Real?
Yes, I'm.
Fuck.
Well, it's realistically, if you speed through it, it's maybe only like 50 hours. But like for me, like 150 hours into the game, I got to like was when I finally got to the really heavy story content of the game.
Fair
But
enough. Anyway, sorry, continue.
moving on. So this year was a big year for Warframe updates because at the Warframe got its new war update, which was an update that has been teased and in development for over 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
So this was the big
that's longer than
conclusion
Elden
to the
Ring.
current story of the game, basically. It
Yeah.
was effectively the whole big thing was we had spent the game once you get far enough in, the game introduces this new alien race who is hell-bent on taking over control of the whole system, and the new war was effectively they launch their big invasion of the whole system, and they take everything over, and then it's a big cinematic story quest all about going and stopping them, sort of thing. And it was the biggest quest added to date, at around 4 or 5 hours long. And which sounds small for Warframe standards, if you compare it to like the amount of playtime people have. But a lot of quests in the game can be finished in like under an hour. They're not too long.
So they put some time into it.
Yeah, they put a lot of time and work. They not because there was 3 separate acts for the new war. The first 2 acts featured almost none of the actual gameplay you would normally experience in Warframe. They had created completely new game mechanics and a gameplay experience for the game for the first 2 acts. Where so like for the first act, a lot of the first act was you controlling some of the people from the factions that you have been fighting throughout the game. And it's sort of like showing like, hey, even people who were your bad guys up until now are teaming up with you to help take down this greater threat.
Dude, I fucking love stories like that. I just wanna say, like, those, like, especially when they have so much context behind them, where you're just like, holy shit, fucking these 2 people, and like it's done so much, but every time I see it, I'm just like, oh fuck yes, because like these 2 would work so well together. TV up against this one thing. Sorry, that's my tangent.
Yeah,
but I fucking love those
the reason
kind of stories.
that this was very crazy is Warframe is very much what I would describe as a power fantasy game. You get the big powerful weapons and deal millions of damage to enemies, and it's all about just finding out how to kill the enemies in the most efficient and coolest way possible, sort of thing.
I meme on Warframe a lot for like, but when I play it, I do genuinely thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, the gameplay is really fun.
Yeah, like I don't stop playing it only because like, oh, there's more after this. Like that was a joke, obviously. It's
like there's a
because,
reason I've played so much of this game. I really do enjoy it.
I think it's
Warframe came on.
Well, you said that you had like over 1,000 hours.
Over 2,000 now.
2,000, damn.
Yeah.
Anyway,
came
but
all
without
this way
further ado-
just to fail, just to fall short.
Without further ado, I think it's just about that time to announce. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, in a game about power fantasy, them bringing in different styles of gameplay where it's just you playing as a random ground trooper or you just playing as a IT technician, which are 2 of the characters that you do play as in the first act of the game, is very different gameplay experience. And
Which is really cool.
I think it's amazing that they dedicated part of this game to,
showing you what,
have
like,
the
the
different
regular
gameplay
persons.
experience. Yeah.
Well, I think
All this way just
Firstly-
to lose.
firstly, very interesting. Actually, Ed, I might actually play Warframe now.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Just until you finish that quest, and then you'll be like, oh, no more story.
Yeah,
Guess
now I'm
what,
done. Now I'm done. I don't care if there's
It
no
doesn't
part
spend
2. You guys
200
made-
hours out of you, though.
There's no part 2. You guys made it up. Anyway, so as I was saying, I think without further ado, it's time to announce the Big Talk game of the year. Who wants to take it away? I don't give a shit.
Big Talk
glad-
game of the year.
So we're not
Should
going to
we
mention
announce
that
the
what the
winner?
best. We're going to
We
not
should
announce the
announce
winner
the
of the
winner.
best ongoing game.
Yes, please announce the
That's
winner.
what I'm doing. Yes.
None of them are the winners.
Sorry.
There's
They're
No.
all bad.
Apex Legends, no. Apex Legends did get some cool updates, but no, unfortunately.
Announce the fucking winner.
The winner of the Best Ongoing Game Award from the Big Talkies is Valorant. Because we finally got Max to play it.
Yeah, whatever.
He dropped 7 kills. He's
7
enough
kills.
kills.
Actually, I went today.
Yo, I got over 1,000 kills today.
Yo, let's go
game.
ahead.
Fucking hell.
That's
Okay,
true.
cool. Thanks. Listen, I played one game of unranked. I think I had a KD of like, I think it was 754, which for me isn't that bad.
That's
I
a
think that's very-
positive KD.
That's
Epic.
yeah, but that sounds like a pretty one-sided ranked match.
No, it was actually
That's
fairly. It was fairly decent. Like
Do you know what the final score was?
it was something like.
Did you win? I feel like that's what we
Yeah, we
kind of want to
won. We
know.
won. But
Okay,
it was-
cool.
I can't remember. Oh, actually, I think it was. You see, it was pretty. It was one-sided, like near the end, but like it kind of like right at the start, and I think in the middle area when I started getting like kills, it was fairly challenging. But in the end, it sort of came out like we won, and like there was, it was fairly obvious that we.
Are we gonna
were
say
gonna win, but it
why?
wasn't like
Yeah, we're gonna say
easy.
why we put Valorant up here as the best.
outside the game
I
we
think
all
it's
play
the-
the
the-
most.
Pretty self-explanatory. We
It's
play
the
it a
only
lot.
game on this list that
It's
all
most
of us
consistent.
here still play consecutively.
It's
Yeah.
it's
And consistently, yeah.
Overall, it's our most consistent content uploads as well. Like I'm the only one who hasn't uploaded anything related to Valorant so far, and that may change, but we'll see, I guess. Because
Yep.
I don't know if it's gonna run super well if I record
But
it.
before we move on, I think it is worth mentioning in March, 4 of us here, plus Joseph O'Neill, will be participating in a tournament in Valorant, competing under the team name, and it will be live streamed on Ray Next Door and DJB's Twitch streams. Links for those, I will assume, will be found in the description. I believe our game is on the 13th of March.
Send me the links for those, and I'll put them in the
I'll
description.
I'll send you the links. But yeah, we'll be playing some competitive Valorant. Max will also be there as a coach/sub.
If I'm subbed in, let me just say it. Sorry, preemptively.
But I think if you could tune in, if you want, support us, that'd be great. But yeah, congratulations to Valorant on the Big Talkie. Fantastic game, kind of. It's not a perfect game.
Representative of Riot to come here to accept both the award for Valorant and Arcane.
Can we get Jeff Kaplan? I
And
know
also,
he's not
please,
there,
Riot, add a map selector. I swear to God,
This
please
guy-
add a map selector, Riot,
He's,
at
he's
some
not
point.
even in at
Yeah,
Blizzard
He's
anymore.
not at Blizzard anymore. He's gone.
No, but I think he could
Mr. Wright.
represent it.
And as we give Riot these
let's
2
introduce
awards, we also
our-
put a footnote of please add map selector because
All right, this
I
is
swear
an
to
open
God,
an open letter to John Riot as he accepts this award.
John Riot.
Please.
What is this, John Halo?
I thought
John Halo.
Yeah, that's Master Chief's name is John.
I know.
no, that's based. No, that's epic.
No, yeah, that's
John.
his Master Chief's canonical name is John.
Yeah, I
That's-
knew that
that's-
'cause I
that's
played
pretty
four.
John.
I played Halo 4. I know.
Oh, whoa.
Anyway,
Whoa.
anyway,
But yes, congratulations to Valorant.
John Riot will send you that in the mail.
John
Please
Riot.
add a map
Move to the
selector,
final one.
please. Please add a
And-
map selector. Please stop updating League of Legends. Nobody cares. Just make Arcane.
Just make Arcane. Just
Just
make
make
Arcane
Arcane.
the video game.
Stop making League of Legends. Just make Arcane. People will forget about
Okay, okay.
People will forgive you.
it. Now, carrying on from that theme of favorite video games, we are here to now announce not our favorite ongoing game, but instead our favorite game released specifically in 2021. Without further ado, the lists of the nominees
From 2021
for
to now, to be specific.
the list
Yep.
for the nominees for the best game of 2021 to early 2022. First off, for the nominees will be my own nominee, Nation. Sorry, Resident Evil Village, because it was pretty much one of the only things I played that came out last year. But at the same time, I've never been huge on Resident Evil. I played 4 when it was on the Wii years ago. I loved it. I never really got into the other ones because 5 and 6 weren't that good. And then I played the previous one, Biohazard. I can't. What was that? Yeah, that's the one. Resident Evil 6. No, 7. Christ, I can't think today. Resident Evil 7, the one I played. I really liked that. I really like the new direction for the series. I'm a fan of those sort of like first person games, horror games like that. I liked that it didn't solely rely on jump scares. It wasn't a jump scare shock horror game, I suppose. Like something like FNAF, which I have opinions on that we'll gloss over.
True.
But it was some. What I felt playing it was more dread and terror, which is the kind of emotion that I want from a horror game. I don't want really to be playing a horror game and feeling as though I'm just going to be unfairly killed in a jump scare around every corner. Where Resident Evil Village, I felt as though I was in this person's experience. I'm given a gun, right, and a knife, and the tools to defend myself and to survive. And of course, I'm really bad at these types of games, so I'm gonna die. That's obvious. And like, I'm gonna miss the werewolf in the corner and just get slaughtered, obviously. But at the same
hold
time,
on, Max.
Yeah?
I want to ask you, what did you think about the dollhouse? Beviento, I think?
Pardon?
In Resident Evil Village. The
No, what?
dollhouse section.
Oh yeah, I was about to get to that. I haven't finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually get super far in because I was on my it was actually on my friend's.
Did you beat the big, tall vampire lady?
Think so. I beat
I
Demetrius.
Oh no!
I think so.
What's
The
I
mummy-
beat- I played it at like the start. I played it like super early in the year when like it first came out.
You should try and get to finishing it if you can.
No, the thing is,
Yeah,
If you're quoting it as your best game of 2021,
Here's the thing.
I feel like you would have played the.
No, because here's the thing. I didn't own it. It wasn't my game. It was my roommate's game.
okay.
It was on his PS5, and he's left, so I don't have access to it anymore.
Oh,
But I played as much of it as I could, but then uni and shit had gone in the way. And I only put it as I'm just explaining the emotions I felt playing the game. So I didn't finish it. So I didn't get to play. And I didn't get to play Guardians of the Galaxy or Arceus or Hitman 3 Mastered or Metroid Dread.
Whoa, you're doxing.
Whoa.
What else
No,
came out that?
a few games.
But like I didn't get to play those games.
what do you mean you didn't like
And-
Deathloop?
I didn't get to play Deathloop. That's what I'm saying.
Disappointing.
Like I really didn't get to play a lot of games because I didn't have the means to, and I was working and playing, and had uni. So I was this year and last year have been incredibly fucking busy. So Resident Evil was one of the few games I was actually able to play. But even still, in terms of like quality of games that I have played recently, especially with what I played in like 2020, which was like the new Pokemon game and like not much else, which the new Pokemon game is, that being Sword and Shield, which wasn't very good. So I didn't really get around to playing heaps, but I just genuinely, the thing that makes good games for me is the emotions I feel playing it and the experience I have playing it.
Yeah, no, that's completely valid. If you enjoyed the game for what you played of it, that's completely fair.
Yeah.
Although I think we should move on. I would like to hear. I'd like to hear Connor's favorite game.
So I changed mine from what it was originally because, as like kind of what Max was saying, is like I didn't play much games at this year.
I feel like I'm the only one in this call that really played a wide variety of games this
Let me
year.
talk about what happened
You don't have
last
to
year.
work, Ed.
I didn't even work. I had uni and I was going out like every week. So I was going out. I was doing uni basically all week. And then when we were playing games with each other, we would play Valorant for 3 hours or more.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to put the Jackbox Party Pack 8 on here, you know.
I mean, did Jackbox Party Pack 8 come out last year?
It was
Yeah.
It was this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Did not know that. Yeah, so one of the games I did end up playing outside Valorant was Legends Arceus, which is what I kind of say is best game 2021. I played that. Super Autobats that came out this year, really. And FM. I think that's all that came out last year. Like that's I think Cricket 22 came out last year.
Looking at the Google Doc.
But yeah, like
Max,
Blow
please be
and Ed
professional.
have gone through.
I can't, I'm sorry.
Max, come on. This is
Come
a
on.
serious video.
I'm sorry,
A serious video. Like, come on.
I'm trying.
So yeah, Blow and Ed played through it and completed. I haven't, but it's like out of the games I have played that came out last year, it is probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Mm.
I don't have the drive to finish it really.
Drive?
Because like going through it at the start I was, but now I kind of feel like I don't like the Pokemon I got at the moment because I want to get all like different Pokemon that I haven't used before. I still have a Luxray, so
Yeah.
which I've used before.
Yeah.
I still have my Luxray in my party.
I also haven't seen a Zora, which I've really wanted to get.
you
I can actually tell you where to find one.
tell me
it's-
after this, please.
Okay, yes, sir.
And then I'll go
No,
pick it
no
up and
leaks,
go for
no
it.
leaks, no leaks, no
leaks.
leaks.
We can't get sued by Nintendo.
Hey, this is my channel. I can do it.
I have not played a game
My
called
channel,
Nintendo
what do you
Switch Sports Playtest. I
Um,
swear.
Yeah, it was also like a very new take on Pokemon, and one I don't really see them going straight back into. I think they'll release some of the older style Pokemon games, then maybe eventually come back to this.
Yeah. I think this we can say is like the Pokemon Presents thing is coming out in like
Oh yes.
basically like a few days now, so we'll see what we get from that, whether it's Arceus stuff or Gen 9 or whatever.
I think
I don't
it's
think
too
it'll be
fast.
Gen
I think it's
I don't think this
I-
close.
It's too soon.
yeah, I don't think this close, but like yeah, maybe. It's a maybe.
I do want Gen 9 before another remake, though.
I think we're going to get a Gen 9 before another Legends
agree.
game.
I wanted
Actually,
before
I mean,
another
that's
remake.
fair because the last actual gen was Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I also don't
Yeah,
want to do
yeah.
another remake before another gen.
It's either gonna be the end of this year or end of next year. It's gonna be one of those Gen 9 because I think it's like at the point where we would normally get.
I could see the end of this year.
Yeah, I think
Have
that's
it
what a lot of people are
released-
thinking as well.
I think having it released just before Christmas, and then
Yeah,
all the kids
Gen
have
8 was
Christmas.
2018.
Makes sense.
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
think
2018
you're
or
right.
2019.
I think
It was 2018 or 2019.
It was
It
in
was,
the
it was a
end
3 to 4 year
2018.
gap.
it was end
Yeah.
2018, early 2019, basically.
Yeah, but yeah, Arceus is honestly is really good because I've played it the most from us three. Like 60 hours in the game I've played, and I've done a lot in it. I think.
Yeah,
I
I was
haven't
busy
seen-
grinding
yeah.
extra.
Bilal, was your game of the year also?
My game of the year wasn't Legends Arceus because it wasn't out at the time, obviously. But like, I don't think it is anyway. But
It is
my
a-
game of the year was Metroid Dread, which
Metroid
I'm just gonna
Dread.
say, yeah, was like a nominee for like one of the actual games of the year in
Yes,
the
but
actual
so does
game awards.
Deathloop.
True,
No,
but
no.
Metroid Dread is actually good.
I'm just gonna preface. I actually do like Deathloop as a game. I've played Deathloop. And I
Yeah.
do like it, but it wasn't my game of the year.
Yeah,
But it was good.
Metroid. Yeah, for me, Metroid Dread was like up there for like as like favorite game of there. It was like, and this is coming from someone who has never played a single Metroid game in his life. This is like first Metroid game, honestly, first experience with like the series and like the style of gameplay and like that. And it was
It's a lot of
really
people's
fun.
first
You're gonna
sort of
get
Metroid.
cancelled for not being a real Metroid fan.
Okay,
Actually, that's a common thing I've heard about Metroid Dread. Actually, how it's can't
It's
remember.
really
You know who
good.
It was
It's really good for Metroid fans because of what it does. Because from what I know, it sticks relatively well to the Metroid formula. But it's also really it's also just really good for like people who never played Metroid or
Huge
don't play
because
Metroid.
Metroid Dread was a Metroid game that a lot of Metroid fans thought
I've been
was
wanting.
just cancelled and completely scrapped the whole idea of
Yeah.
it for the longest time, and then they're like, "Hey, surprise, we
I think it
brought
was
it back."
Jacob
Yeah.
Geller who I saw the video on for his
Yeah.
list of top games of the year. But it's pretty much like it brought back Metroid the series into
Yeah.
sort of cultural relevance, I guess. So Metroid style games, so like your Castlevanias, your
Yeah,
things like that.
Metroidvania.
Like
is
the last major
genre.
Metroid game I think we got was the Prime trilogy, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. And those are
from
fantastic games.
Metroid series, yeah, I think the 2D
Actually,
Metroidvania.
hold on. What was the
was that
Metroid game? The spin-off on the 3DS?
I can't remember, but yeah,
I think
so,
the
like,
last Metroid game was like
style games have been. I think his point was like he wasn't.
There
gonna
was a
get it.
remake of Metroid 2.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
he was saying, like he wasn't originally going to get it because it's like while Metroid is influential, he was thinking, oh yeah, but like it's just because it started the genre. What else new could it bring? But then like Metroid Dread comes out and reminds you, like, yeah, there's a reason they're called Metroid style games. Like there's a reason
the Metroidvania
why this series
genre.
is so culturally relevant, which I can really respect.
It literally, Metroid literally created like a subgenre
entire genre,
for type games, yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
Revolutionary for sure.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about like the stuff I liked and why it's good because I think I think the biggest thing of it is the level design is I think probably some of the best level design I've ever seen because it's really good. Like on the how it because like basically how the Metroidvania games work is you'll be given to like you'll start off in like one area, you explore it as much as you can with your like lack of abilities you would usually have. And as you progress further, you would gain more abilities and be able to access more areas in that specific level or like area. And like each like level had like a somewhat theme to it as well, and like that. And like you would go further and further into the level, accessing previous points which were like inaccessible before. Like you gain a power up to like one of the power ups you gain like an invisibility power up, which like is used to like stop yourself from getting seen by the Emmy robots, but also to like access some specific doors that would normally when you walk past would see you that would close, so you'd be able to go through them. And like it's just a bunch of that. It's just a bunch of that over and over again. And it's just like different areas, and it's a lot of backtracking and like kind of remembrance of like, oh yeah, there's this thing I saw before that looks like I might need this, and then like a while later you would get something to help you
Everything ties together.
overcome that, and they were like, oh yeah, it's like here's this power up and here's what it does.
Yeah,
and then the game's like, do you remember
That's-
where this specific thing was? And you
know
go,
what that
oh
is?
yeah,
it's a
and then you would go
Metroid
there.
style
That is
game.
very much
Yeah.
the whole formula of Metroidvania
Yeah.
games.
Now,
Yeah, that's the whole formula, and it
just
does it
quickly
reasonably
moving
well.
on
Like
for the sake of time.
They're the masters
Jace,
of it.
Oh, I do want to point out that in terms of Metroid, the last like mainline Metroid game since like Metroid, like before Metroid Dread, the last mainline Metroid game was Other M, which was
oh yeah,
an
That sounds like really
interesting
bad.
game.
yeah. But I
As
think
far as I know.
I think the game's good because it's plenty challenging as well. Like
Yeah.
it didn't, but like, and most of it is like because of like how the battles and like the boss fights basically are. Is it's mostly like it doesn't feel like anything is like hard that you can't do. It's just like it's just like
fair.
a lot. It's yeah, it's
challenging, but
fair,
fair.
and it's like it's challenging fair, and it's
Just
like
like
it's reliant
Dark
on your
Souls.
skill and your skill alone. And it's like if you died or like lost health or something like that, it's on you mostly, not the something being jank. And just like the movement and everything of the game is really fluid and nice.
Your music's
And like
playing,
that.
Bilal. The music's playing.
Yeah, try and wrap it up.
Moving
Yeah.
briefly on
Metroid
from that.
It was good. Metroid
Incredible
was good.
game, yeah.
Moving on from that, Jace, I see you are dressed
Yeah.
up as you're doing your cosplay of Agent 43.
47.
whatever.
47.
Thank you.
47.
Why don't you tell us about your favorite game of last year?
My favorite game of the last year was the third installment in the Hitman trilogy, Hitman 3. They also, in this game, remastered the levels on Hitman 1, Hitman 2, and Hitman 2
The full
DLCs.
Hitman trilogy.
Yeah,
Full
it
Hitman
was
trilogy.
very clean. It was very entertaining.
Wait, so is your game of the year just the Hitman trilogy in general?
Hitman
Yeah.
3 and remastered because you get them together.
It was the same game, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
released Hitman 3, but then they also released the Hitman trilogy, which just had all 3 games.
Yeah.
But yes, go on.
But I found it super entertaining. I thought that the overarching story was really enticing, having a lot to do with memory and kind of shadow organizations. It was really captivating. I really enjoyed it. But there was also the super finite details. Like my favorite level was this little suburban town. It was called like Wilton Creek, I believe, and there's just so many. Each house has its own story. You can follow this this old lady who bakes muffins, and then you find out she cooks the muffins with people she kills. So it's super detailed. You can follow it. There's so many unique ways to kill people. It's super well thought out. The level designers are incredibly smart people. Visually, it's impeccable. I mean, some of the landscapes you can go around in are amazing, breathtaking. There was a lot of time put into it, and the fact that they released the trilogy all remade, looking super clean, was super impressive, and it was probably the favorite thing I played and watched this year. So yeah, Hitman 3 / the Hitman trilogy would be my best game of 2021.
Nice. And finally, we have.
Oh,
Eddie, who's-
hold on. Before, just on the topic of Hitman, if any of you were wondering, the Hitman trilogy is in fact... Okay, hold on, wait.
Is that what I think you're going to say?
The Hitman trilogy is currently available on Xbox Game Pass.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
No, we can't mute him.
Shut up.
He's got to go.
It's your turn.
You can't do that
It's
to
your
me.
turn.
I think I did it
God
to myself.
damn it.
Anyway,
I deafen himself. So
yeah, because you undeafened me, and then I hit it again to try and undeafen myself, but I was already undeafened, so I deafened myself. Anyway, moving on. Final nomination from me. My game of the year was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, when this game was announced, most people were extremely skeptical after the abomination of Marvel's Avengers.
fucking Marvel's fucking Avengers.
We have a thing against Marvel's Avengers here.
We hate Marvel's Avengers is our thing. That's what our thing is. We fucking hate the game.
God.
You're wrong, Connor. I respect your opinion, but you're wrong.
Anyway, so a lot of
Context,
people...
Marvel's Avengers bricked my PC. Sorry, Ed, continue.
Yes, continue.
Yeah, continue.
People were very skeptical of this game for good reason, I will say. But me personally, I saw that it was just single player only. It was just a narrative-driven adventure, and it had a cool looking combat system, and I was like, hey, this could be good. I want to give this a shot. So it came up, it released. I played through the game. It was actually one of the first games I played through on my new PC, so that was wonderful. And yeah, it ended up becoming my game of the year. I honestly didn't really expect it to be my game of the year, but it absolutely was. Man, I'll start by saying it fixes the biggest problem with Marvel's Avengers, in my opinion, is they went too far into it being the all online live service video game, and they were like, here's a bunch of worthless grind to get all this stuff. The actual campaign of the game was probably the best content you could get out of that game, but after you did that, they wanted you to keep going, but there was no real point to keep going in the game, in my opinion. This game is just purely single-player, straightforward, narrative-driven adventure, and I think it pulls it off perfectly. I think this is what they should do with these sorts of games from now on. I think that these stories... video games are a great way to do storytelling, and I think if they want to tell a story in this world, they should tell a story in this way, in a way that to actually engage the players into this world. In my opinion, so before I played this game, I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. I hadn't even watched the movies. But after this game, I like the cast of this game. I think does such a good job with all the writing and the great voice acting in the game. I think it's pretty much made me into a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy series, and even got me to watch the movies, which I did like, but not as much as the game.
Did you read the comics?
I have not read comics.
Fake fan.
I watched
fan.
the first. I watched the first movie. It was fine. I don't think I'm just into Marvel stuff.
That's fine.
nothing.
See, I think, going off what you said, I think the general consensus is that like Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty much everything that Marvel's Avengers like.
Oh,
could have
absolutely.
been, more focused as the story. Like I haven't played it, but from what I've heard about it and from what have you streamed it? You haven't streamed it, have you? I
I
saw
haven't
someone.
No, I played it on my own.
Okay, I swear I saw someone playing it. I can't remember who. It might have been on just a YouTube video. But from what I've seen, the combat, looks incredibly fun. Just like even if you
on the
can't play
topic
as
of
the other-
combat,
Sorry.
like a lot of people complained that you couldn't control anyone other than Star-Lord.
I think that's for the best, honestly.
I honestly like it because the thing is,
It's more
the
focused.
rest of the characters you can issue commands out to, and they will pull off their own moves, and otherwise they'll just fight normally in combat. I think
It's a lot
that's
less to
good because
manage, and it makes
it's-
the game
yeah.
more simple for you as the player, but also
Yeah.
like adds a lot of variety in the background as well. So you're never going to be overwhelmed in any way because you have essentially your team fighting with you and for you, but you don't have to focus on the combat styles and whatever of all these other characters, and you're not going to have the problem of like, let's say if you're playing online or whatever, it's like you're never gonna have the problem of, oh, why is this guy getting this character because he's the best? It's like, no, everybody's just playing a Star-Lord. You
Yeah.
have just the one guy deal with it.
and
So it's fun.
each of
How is playing
the
Star-Lord, by the way? How would you in terms of like in comparison to other games you played? 'Cause that's interesting. I think that's probably the
playing,
most important part.
I honestly really like how Star-Lord controls in the game.
That's good. 'Cause I think if
It's
Star-Lord
a
wasn't
very simple like sort of thing where he's got his classic just blasters, but then he's also got his special elemental style attacks that imbue different effects but have a limited shot opportunity. And then there's of course like special timed reloads where if you hit a button to reload
at the right moment,
it'll fire off a stronger charged shot. I think that's a game mechanic that a lot of games should have, because that is a legitimately fun and engaging gameplay mechanic that makes
There's a lot of,
reloading interesting.
There's a lot of like games like Halo, I think, have a similar function where if you like overheat a plasma weapon and like
Yeah, they
at
have
the
like
moment, they have like an extra reload. Where I think it's taken that mechanic and just added something. There's an actual buff rather than just like little. It's like instead of circumventing the downside, you're actually getting something from it. So there's more of an incentive to try.
But yeah, and then all of the other Guardians have their own specialties. Like Rocket also has his grenade that does a lot of AoE damage in a large area. Groot can like tie a bunch of enemies down to the ground with his roots. Drax can deal a lot of stagger damage to enemies, and Gamora focuses on dealing like the most damage to a single enemy, sort of thing. So they all have their like each area of expertise within combat that you can use to basically strategize your way around each combat encounter. And I think I would say it's enjoyable to like actually like instead of having to control all these characters, instead being the leader and being able to command them instead is an enjoyable gameplay wise. I would say Sorry. I would say like I like a game. I like a game's combat if that game's combat never feels stale to me. And this is a game that I was actively like jumping to get into combat encounters because I found the combat in this game so much fun.
So engaging, yeah. I think it's almost ironic that limiting your ability to play as different characters and making it single player, the team in the game feels more like a team rather than just a bunch of different like perspectives to follow and like worse characters than Iron Man.
Yeah.
But
Like, look
no.
at me, I'm Iron Man. I can fly around the map.
You mean the
Can't do
Tungsten
that.
Gentleman?
Shut up.
I love that video so much. Sorry. Anyway, so
yeah.
I guess we want to just give our final thoughts. I guess for Resident Evil Village, I know I haven't finished it, but like I mentioned, last year was an incredibly busy, not great year for me, like personally. So it was one of the only games I really was able to play at all. But it really reminded me of why the franchise of Resident Evil is like regarded as it is. It was a nice change from a lot of the sort of gimmicky horror games that have played before. Even like some indie titles I think can fall under that kind of category. But like I think it just reminded me it was a thrilling experience rather than just a scary one. So it didn't feel like I was
I feel like that's what horror games should be.
That's what they should
thrills,
be. Yeah, I like
not just cheap scares.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I think I'm really not a big fan of jump scares for the sake of jump scares. Like, I think if there's a jump scare and
I
that's
am
the
numb
end,
to
that's the
jump
whole
scares.
story.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
scary.
That's the thing.
It's
Jump
dumb.
scares are shocking,
I just don't
but that's
like
it.
jump scares.
Jump scares are like they ruin the tension of a scene. That's what
They're
a jump
just
scare
cheap. They just feel cheap
they're
as well.
That's how they get you. Like I think Hollywood is a massive problem.
So it's not
with
even
it, but the
scary. It's just a
profit- yeah.
shock. It's not.
And
It's
what-
not scary, and I hate it.
And what I like about Resident Evil, then, especially Village, is that even if there was a jump scare, it wasn't just oh no, it's a thing, and now it's nothing.
I like to compare
when you get
it
jump
to.
scared, oh, sorry, you go.
I'd like to compare jump scares in video games to like that one person in high school who always goes up behind people and then pushes them in the back and goes like, haha, you jumped, I scared you.
Dude, oh, on that note, I remember Isaac once did that to me, and I was like super like skittish that day because I think that was like a really personal
I mean,
thing that
you
happened.
can't say,
and-
oh, you jumped because of how scary I was when you know, actually touch me and push me.
Yeah, you know what it was? I remember Isaac did this. It was a bunch of people came up and kept jumping behind me and like freaking me out because I was really on edge that day. And then eventually Isaac came up and did it, and like instinctively I just swung around and accidentally punched him in the chest. And winded him. I didn't mean to. I felt so horrible afterwards, but fuck, he just. Oh my god.
Anyway, continuing
But
on with your.
sorry, as I was saying, I think jump scares can work, but the way that Resident Evil will do it is that like you'll have a jump scare, but that's not it. Now you've been jump scared. Now you're like freaked out and like tense, and now you have to kill the thing that just jumped out at you, while there's a bunch of other things also probably trying to kill you. Right. So like that you have that sense of fear, but that dread and that terror is still going because the jump scares should be an introduction. It should never be nothing. If you're just going to have a jump scare and it's just nothing and there's nothing actually fear related, fuck you, respectfully, but fuck you. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Resident Evil Village. I like horror. I like the idea of horror games. I want to get more into them, and I think you can tell a lot of really interesting stories with the genre of horror. Yeah. Anyone else have any final thoughts on their games?
Yeah, I'll let others go first because I just talked about Guardians.
Yeah.
Hitman was good. It was fun. It was
And it's on
visually
Game
pleasing.
Pass.
Shut up.
It's on Game.
Do you want your final thoughts, Ed?
Sorry.
If you're looking for a game that is visually beautiful, that is really has a really cool story, and like honestly isn't too mechanically intensive. Like, I don't think you have to be particularly good at video games to play Hitman. It's really more of a story, which is what I love. Like, it's a very different game to stuff like Red Dead or like Last of Us, but it's the same essence of being more about telling a story rather than what's it called? Being a play by play thing. Even though it is a story, like there's different episodes, levels even. But yeah, visually beautiful, very good game.
I think honestly, now that it is on Game Pass, I will probably play through the Hitman games now.
I just thought of something. This isn't on our nominee list, but it's just a game that just came to mind that I'd like to recommend.
Elden Ring, it just
not-
came out.
Obviously, Elden Ring, the doy. But I recently started watching a lot of videos on Returnal, which came out. I don't remember. Did it come out last year or the year before?
It came out last year.
It kind of fell under the radar, but
because it was exclusive to PS5, I think.
Yeah.
So a lot of people couldn't get it.
Good. It's made by a small indie company. It's their first, to my knowledge, their first big AAA title. But my god, it's visually fantastic. The story looks like is that same kind of, it's just is terrifying and trippy. It's almost like Lovecraftian in the classical sense, where it's like just a complete mindfuck where every new detail is something your brain almost can't comprehend. But it's just like such an intense and fun gaming experience as well. And like fuck, if I ever manage to get a PS5, it's probably Elden Ring, then Returnal are the first two games I'm gonna get. Because my god,
you're gonna rebuy Elden Ring?
Damn, I'm gonna rebuy Elden Ring. I'll buy Elden Ring. I'll buy Elden Ring 1,000. I'll buy Elden Ring 1,000 times before I let this company die.
Okay.
But no, and then that and Returnal because it's gonna be so hard. I'm gonna be terrible at it. But I'm genuinely really excited to play it. I recommend
if you already have a PS5 or
get it.
You managed to get your hands on a PS5, look into Returnal.
Watch Jacob Geller's video on it as well. I'll put that in the description because it's really good.
Alright, any final thoughts on Metroid Dread or Arceus?
I think I can say some things.
Good games.
Yeah, I can go over both because I think I have good opinions for both. I think Dread. I think Dread is honestly is really fun, and like especially for even for people who haven't played a Metroid game. Honestly, if you guys haven't played it, I think Ed and Connor.
I think I might.
Honestly, it's not very long either. It's relatively short. It's for a single normal playthrough. It took me 6 to 8 hours to beat one playthrough, and I did it again in hard mode. And I am considering it on Dread mode, which is just one hit, one kill mode, where you get hit once, you die. You die immediately, no matter your health and that, which is very hard. Honestly, I'm considering that it is going to be a nightmare, but it is a consideration because I do really like the game, and
it's a true test of your skill and mastery of the game.
It is really fun. I would recommend at least playing it once.
Honestly, do like the fact that they're adding that because I do feel like a lot more games should have an optional super hard difficulty mode that's your true test of mastery.
It is really fun.
I think
it is really fun.
Video games.
Especially narrative games, I think should have those. Could benefit from those, where it's if you just take one hit.
Give me a Guardians of the Galaxy super hard mode where I die in one hit. It's impossible because of how many enemies have ranged weapons.
You were saying, Blah.
Yeah, I think honestly it is a recommendation. Even if you haven't played a Metro game, because I played it and I haven't played anything.
A Metro game, play this one with super hard mode straight away. No practice.
Yeah,
you beat it on Dread, you're a gamer.
It is challenging. It is fun though as well.
If you beat it on the new super easy difficulty where they just give you everything you need, and you it's super easy. You're probably a games journalist.
Go play creative game.
I would recommend at least normal and then maybe hard mode if you want to as well. At least minimum to play. And I think Arceus as well. I'll go over that. Arceus is really fun. It does have its flaws. From compared to games nowadays, it is flawed in a lot of different ways. But if you compare
Graphics.
it to and there's a
Guys,
apart from the
but
graphics
Bilal-
and a lot of the other stuff.
But Bilal, they made a second Pokemon game. It
I-
took them how many Pokemon games have there been? Like 16 games, and they finally made a new
I
one.
saw someone being like, "Look how good Arceus looks compared to Pokemon Red on the Game Boy."
Whoa, that's
No
not
way.
a comparison you should be making. But like, apart from like the flaws compared to Nuggets, compared to Pokemon, this is a ginormous step up from Sword and Shield and BDSP. This is a huge leap in the direction of what Pokemon can be, and I think. Well, I don't want it to be the norm of what Pokemon is. I think it's something they should at least do a couple more times.
It's
I
like-
don't
it's-
think
it's-
this is what I want the norm of Pokemon to be.
It's good.
I
To
mean,
have some
maybe, but
variety in
I
the
don't think
series.
it's a lot. I think it's too much for Game Freak to be making
That's
like
fair.
as they do for like normal
You know,
because I mean,
Source-
look at how it looks now.
source other game studios to make
Yeah.
Pokemon
I-
games besides Game Freak.
I also think you just merge
Boys.
two and you'll get a better game.
Yeah, but I think it's like
Two
something
the
like
boys-
like something like
Names
Mystery, like how like Mystery Dungeon has like multiple games, and like that's something like it's just like every now and again it will be a Legends Arceus game, and like
Me and
it'll go alongside the new one.
Fair enough.
It's like
Me and
I
the
think it is a
boys-
good game. It's like definitely for Pokemon fans, it's definitely something to consider playing. And like I don't know, for like normal fans, maybe it's all right in that kind of
me and
sense.
the boys
It's not like
complaining about
game of the
Pokemon
year
making the
for
same
like
game every year. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
every PlayStation Studios game
'Cause,
from,
like, you can
2016
compare-
onwards.
Look at how great open world action adventure game
because
with
you can
Oh my
compare.
god, it's
a
Uncharted!
story.
It's Uncharted again, but this time he's bold with an axe. It's Uncharted again, but this time
I'm
there's zombies.
a dead woman.
Arceus, yeah.
It's a
Arceus,
woman!
yeah. Arceus is a good. Arceus is
Groundbreaking. Sorry, Bilal, I'm sorry.
yeah. Arceus good game. Definitely good for Pokemon. I think it's good. I think like good for like compared to like anything else that came out this year or last year. I guess technically. It's definitely better than Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. A huge step from anything Pokemon has done. So yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess I'll finish off by saying Guardians of the Galaxy, great game. I love the story, I love the gameplay. It made me like this ragtag cast of characters. And I gotta give one last shout out to the great 80s inspired and themed soundtrack with all the great music. Like any
Space
sound.
Riders with No Name is a
Ah.
fucking banger. I listen
Dude,
to that all the time.
I'm gonna be honest, any soundtrack that has Kickstart My Heart in it gets an immediately top tier game from me.
That's a fucking great song.
Oh man.
Well, on that note, it's been almost 3 hours since I started recording. I want to. Does anyone have any? I'm gonna ask for final thoughts. Okay, we've all given them already.
we've
Jesus
given our
Christ.
final thoughts. I think
So,
we final thought it out.
This then concludes the first and, like I mentioned, probably only annual Big Talkie Awards. Hopefully coming out.
Yeah,
at the end of
it's the
February.
last of the annual one. We'll kick it back up in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
The
It seems
biannual
to be
Big Talkies.
the
biannual Big Talkies.
the by decade.
I mean, we can make it like the Olympics, only do it every 4 years.
We'll do this. We'll do a second one for 2022 once we
We'll-
reunite after one of us
we'll-
is like
we'll-
passed away at a funeral.
We'll come back. We'll come back when we're 40, and
We'll
we'll,
come
be
back
like,
when the
We
war
haven't
is
talked to each
over.
other in 20 years.
Persona 17 was fucking brilliant.
We haven't.
Nah, that's
we
not
ha-
true. Persona 6 still wouldn't have been out by
We
then.
haven't.
Oh,
Very
word.
true.
They'll still be releasing Persona 5 spin-offs.
We'll come back when we're like,
Persona
when we're
5
like
still wouldn't be
40.
on
We
the
haven't talked to
Switch.
each other in like 20 years. We don't even know who the fuck we are anymore. It's like
Persona
what the
5
hell is
might
Big
be on the
Talk?
Switch by then, who knows?
Yo, Persona
mean,
5 Super Ultra Really Cool Royal was a very good game.
It's been 3 hours on the dot as I said that. Thank you
Sorry.
guys
Lovely.
very much for watching. Like we've mentioned, leave down your votes for the game of the year, for the literature of the year, anything that we've talked about today. Leave your own votes down below. Hope you enjoyed this style of content. This is something we would like to do annually if we can.
No.
Yeah, we
Maybe
really,
not for 3 hours.
Not for 3 hours, hopefully.
Mate, that's
We'll
a pretty
probably-
short award show.
Yeah, but award shows aren't very fun. Except for this one. This one's great.
This one's top notch.
This
This
one
is
is
the
the
best.
This one was
and the
half an hour shorter than
this-
yes.
This one and the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards are the two good the two
Those are
good
the
ones.
only two.
If we can't get next time, we'll do it in person. I'll get some slime. I'll just throw it on whoever's the announcer or whatever, and that'll be the whole.
What do you mean
bit.
by that? What do you mean by
I mean,
that?
I'm gonna slime you.
Are we going to
That's
do this
rough
next
slime.
the next year's awards at a live studio audience?
Dude, we should. We'll
Um,
hold
A
Zane
live,
at
a
gunpoint.
live studio audience member number one.
Yo,
We
can
might
we
get a
throw it
sec-
at
we
them?
might get a second person by
Yeah,
that
right.
point. No, Eddie.
do
by that
we-
point, we might have two fans.
Oh, no.
Do we?
We might have Lashik Spark and make a cameo.
Maybe.
Sorry, Jace, continue.
Do we have anything to tell them on the March podcast? I think
It
There-
might
there-
happen.
There is a possibility of
It exists.
of
This was the
I haven't
March
heard any of this.
cast.
Hang on.
Uh,
I think it might be about the Valorant tournament that we do.
oh yeah, that's good point. Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
Perhaps
Thinking.
we will get a guest if you guys really want Joe to come on the podcast.
We do
that
have
could
Joey
be-
come in the podcast.
That could be a realistic
I thought you
option.
were gonna be like if we
Uh,
want to invite like Pierce or someone on here.
We could get.
No. He's a long time away. Just kidding.
Let's Ray
We
next
could-
door on here, fellas.
Mate, look, these things could happen.
But
Any
yeah,
which
I want to
way.
say, on that note, yeah, I will do my absolute best to try and schedule, that podcast to come out on time. But I think full disclosure, I've started working full time, so I really only have like late afternoons and weekends to sort of make content and do editing and all of that. So there's going to be a lot slower on my channel. I'm hoping I can get this out before the end of February, but like I mentioned, it's been really busy. I am still working on a live action skit video and also working on the bloopers for that at the same time as we're making them, just so I don't have to do it later. Jace is in that, Ed's in that, Bilal's in that. Connor is unfortunately not because he's in Sydney. I'm really excited about it. I don't want to say too much about it because you'll see when it comes out. But like I mentioned, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I'm really enjoying making it. I think all the guys are enjoying making it as well. And yeah, I think that's the sort of just a vague outline of the next, I'll say, even couple of months. We'll keep the podcast going as consistently as possible, so you can always expect a new episode of Big Talk here just about every month, unless something significant happens
Give or take.
or whatever. But yeah, essentially, I hope you guys enjoyed. And anyone else have anything to say?
See you next month.
See you next month.
Bye bye.
Ah,
Boy.
bye. Bye.